example, the expansion of these training programs that Michelle Lujan Grisham got through the legislature helped land Intel's new chip hub in Rio Rancho. That's 1,000 construction jobs and 700 new hires at high salaries. The Lujan Grisham administration now partners with 85 communities across the state to bring good new jobs to their local areas every year. It's true, Michelle Lujan Grisham delivers a stronger economy, not just the weather.
Paid for by New Mexicans for Michelle.
Approved by Michelle Lujan Grisham.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. 3 children among the 14 people injured in last night's drive-by shooting in Chicago. Happened on the west side, the city's Garfield Park. Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown says while there are no suspects in custody, there are some leads.
We do have some video of this incident on a pod. So we have some preliminary information regarding this. We know it's a drive-by. We know it happens in just a few seconds. It begins and then it's over by 3 seconds. The car is pulling out after driving by and shooting randomly really into the crowd.
Brown, heard there on ABC 7 Chicago, says shooting victims' conditions range from critical to non-life-threatening injuries. No motive has been established. The man accused of attacking the husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is due in court later today for arraignment. UN nuclear experts checking out a couple of sites in Ukraine, places where Russia claims the Ukrainians have been working on radioactive explosives.
IAEA Chief Rafael Grossi says inspectors have begun and would soon complete verification of the 2 sites. The inspectors have been requested by Kiev senior officials. The Kremlin's made unfounded accusations that Ukraine's preparing to use a so-called dirty bomb, an explosive laden with radioactive materials. Western nations, however, have rejected as transparently false the Kremlin claim. Ukrainian authorities dismissed it as an attempt to distract attention from Moscow's own alleged plans to detonate a dirty bomb. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Accusing them of war profiteering. President Biden threatening oil companies with a windfall profits tax. Oil industry groups, though, say that such a levy could backfire, driving energy costs higher still. More on these stories. Townhall.com.
Factor pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at relieffactor.com and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Be the next success story.
And now a small business setback, set to smooth jazz.
It's late. You're driving in the rain with only one thing on your mind. The deer about to total your HVAC van. But with Progressive's 30-plus customizable coverage options, you're covered. The rest is just saxophone.
When running your small business gets rough, Progressive Commercial is there to smooth it out. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Twinkly sound.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
The Greek Coast Guard is coordinating a search and rescue operation in the Aegean Sea looking for dozens of missing migrants.
The rescue mission began in the middle of the night after one of the boat's passengers phoned the emergency services. A group of survivors who weren't wearing life jackets were pulled off a rocky islet in the strait between the islands of Andros and Evia to the east of Athens. A photo published by the Greek Coast Guard showed them huddled in silver foil survival blankets on the deck of the rescue ship. According to the men, who are said to come from Egypt, Iran and Afghanistan, nearly 60 others had been on board with them. Their boat had sailed from Turkey. Gale force winds have been hampering the search.
That's BBC's Danny Aberhart. For the 5th time since 2019, Israelis voting in national elections, hoping to break the political deadlock that's paralyzed the country for the past 3.5 years. News and analysis at townhall.com. 6 people from South Florida hope to overturn a controversial education law.
The group filed a lawsuit last week asking a judge to overturn Florida's parental rights and education law. The law restricts classroom discussion of gender and sexuality in K through 3rd grade. The plaintiffs claim the law subjects them to discrimination. They say the law treats LGBTQ people as those who need to be shunned. Proponents of the law say the law prevents the attempts of activists to sexualize young kids. The plaintiffs include 2 students in Miami-Dade County, 2 lesbian couples in Miami-Dade, and 2 Broward County teachers. Tasha Stevens reporting.
With the crucial midterm elections now a week away, President Biden heads to South Florida today. He'll campaign for Democrat gubernatorial candidate Charlie Crist. Former President Trump to visit the region over the weekend. He'll be stopping for Republican Senator Marco Rubio. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy, it's not Monday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the post-Halloween day.
All Saints Day.
There you go.
Or, as I like to think of it, half-price candy day.
This is true.
As if you haven't already gotten enough. If you have kids and you don't have sacks full of candy sitting on your kitchen table right now, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, I didn't have
so much to go around.
I didn't have one trick or treat.
Really?
Nope.
Really? They were out in droves last night.
Not in my neighborhood.
Well, you don't usually get them in your neighborhood either, do you?
I don't think so.
It'd be funny if Agnes from 2 doors down came over here.
Yeah.
Trick or treat.
Well, and I turned my light on, but not till like 6 something.
Right.
I forgot until.
But
like
again,
6.
you're not street facing in any stretch.
No,
you're surrounded on all by a wall and houses.
Yeah.
So you would have to be coming to look for you to get to you.
Yeah, but if you're walking on foot with a bag of candy, I figured you'd stumble upon it if you're going through my neighborhood.
It seemed like, and I don't know if it's because it's like a return to form from post-COVID, but it seemed like last night there were more trunk or treat. Over this course of this Halloween weekend, there's been more trunk or treats than ever before. There was so much candy.
There is a lot of candy, but I don't know. I seem to remember. Like pre-COVID, like there was like 30 of these things going on.
There was,
and that's what I'm saying. I think we're back to that. Is what I'm saying. It's we used to have this. We're just now getting back to having this.
There's one thing that nobody could figure out because there was a list of trunk or treats and different events for kids, and there was one that was listed for Sunday evening, and it was at Roswell Street Baptist Church.
Okay.
Where is Roswell Street Baptist Church?
I'd have to look it up.
It doesn't exist. We tried. We all tried online. People were asking each other, like on Facebook, where's this Roswell Street Baptist Church? It doesn't exist. But they were having some kind of trunk or treat that was listed, so.
Sure y'all didn't get,
duped?
Pranked?
Well, we went to all the, me and my friends group went to all the different Baptist churches around to see if it was like Tabernacle or First or.
Maybe that was the joke. Somebody said we're just going to trade it and see how much run we can get with it.
Just to see what happens. Yeah, everything else was pretty legit. Bremen had a big trunk or treat. Big one downtown.
It reminds me. I just watched a Hulu documentary yesterday called "Too Funny to Fail" about the Dana Carvey show, and I forgot one of their bad bits. Well, it's not a bad bit; it was kind of funny. Was Dana Carvey and Steve Carell? They would do pranks that don't really prank anybody but themselves. Like they would go through like a drive-through, order, pay, and then take off.
I totally got you. Not
right.
really.
And they did, and that was like a running joke throughout.
In
and then
fairness,
finally, by the 8th episode, they pull the same joke and win like a lottery ticket.
Right.
And then they do the same joke and take off. And then about halfway as they're gone, they realize we're idiots. We could have got a bunch of money. Like after the final episode, they got to that point where, we're just a bunch of idiots.
Why are we doing this to ourselves? That's great. Of course, if you think about it, you can. I mean, if you pay at a drive-through and then keep going for at least the next few orders, you're going to mess things up. So you've technically succeeded in pranking someone.
Yeah.
There's going to be some confusion there.
But this was a joke from the 90s where they didn't have the technology in drive-through then. So.
Yeah, that's right. I am sitting here thinking about like 2-lane drive-through technology.
Yeah, they don't have any of that back then.
Back then it was.
Yeah. Right. It was the clown. The clown that you talk to. And then. And then. That was it. So happy post-Halloween. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope everyone had a good Halloween. Sounds like you guys did. I saw some pictures online, and y'all were out Halloweening.
We just didn't want to put costumes on anymore. Like last night, we were like, I don't want to get dressed again.
They didn't want to be how many nights? 2 or 3 nights of Shaggy?
It was so it was Friday night, Saturday, and then 3.
3 nights of
Shaggy.
Total.
3 nights of Shags. Yeah, I was just like, I'm done. It was
another
so
good
much
band
Halloween.
name.
Yeah, 3 nights of Shags.
But now you're good. No corduroys for you for another year.
No.
But we had nobody came, and so it was a nice quiet evening. So I didn't have candy. I had to go to Thomas's yesterday to pick up my disc cooker, and Thomas had like 100 pounds of candy, and he goes, I said, yeah, but kids don't. He goes, here, take some of this, and he hands me a sack full. Guess for that candy, I got to bring it back here.
Here's the problem with Thomas, the candy that Thomas gets.
Yeah,
he always gets like 2 things: Skittles and Starbursts.
I got a bunch of those.
I know you do, because that's like all he gets.
There's a smattering of Snickers and
is there?
Like Twix and
okay. Well, this is
I don't know how many Halloweens ago they've been around, but
this is also that time of year that Thomas breaks out that old Yoda candy dish. He sits in the middle of the table every year.
Is that Christmas or is that Halloween?
It was it was it's always post Halloween.
Okay, I thought for some reason it was
a Christmas candy dish,
yeah.
but it's got the Yoda Santa hat on top.
There you go.
Yeah, but it's all the Halloween candy.
Well, I'm going to add to that when he brings that in, because I've got a gallon size Ziploc bag full of Skittles and Starbursts myself to bring in, so because no kids showed up.
Skittles and Starbursts are the snakes and sparklers of the candy world.
I used to love Skittles because I can make cool colored spit with it.
Yeah. Did you ever like, okay, so this is me. I would take like several Skittles and squish them together to make like Skittle.
I never tried that, but I would have. No,
And then you'd sit there and just like eat it like a hand fruit.
Yeah, no, I used to put it like a combo in my mouth and like chew it up and then spit it on the ground and see what color it come up with.
Oh, fun.
Kind of a gross Mr. Wizard.
Yeah. It's really unacceptable in post-COVID world. I saw somebody spit the other day. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. No. This is when I had to walk like a mile to the bus stop and I had to wait 15, 20 minutes, so I had nothing to do while standing there by myself. So I made Skittle color spit piles.
This is what we did before we had phones, kids.
That's right. Yeah.
We made colorful spits.
Let me give you the rundown for today's show. Robert Sherman with the Walker Aviation Museum going to join us here in just a few minutes. Give us an update what's happening there. Don't have a guest in the 8 o'clock, so I thought tonight is Nancy Lopez Elementary's their big reading night tonight. And so last week we had like the entire, I'd say like 2/3 of the student council join us, and they came and we had a great time. So we had a fun little interview. So we're going to play that interview. So you're going to hear a bunch of screaming kids and all that, but it's a lot of fun. So, and it's reminding about the reading night tonight. So all you parents of Nancy Lopez, love to invite you out tonight.
That's right.
And then Lori Schatz will be joining us. I'm not sure if we're talking Kiwanis Club or Shots Productions or a combination thereof, but she'll join us, give us an update what she's got going on here about 9:15 this morning.
Very good.
Plus, we'll have all of your normal features, include the news of the local and national variety, along with your Hannity and Kim Commando and all those updates. So,
indeed.
All right, it is 7:14. We finally made it to that point in the day where you
We
get
did
to
it, everybody.
hear. We made it. We made it to the weather. Here it is, your weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Tranquil weather pattern in place for today. We have abundant sunshine coming in for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. A touch of a breeze from the south and southeast. And our highs are up close to 75. Scattered cloudiness through the night and our low for the mid to upper 40s. And partly to mostly sunny for tomorrow with highs upper 70s. We'll be in the upper 70s to near 80 by Thursday with lots of sun and increasing winds. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently 42 degrees here in Roswell, humidity at 82%. Winds are calm at the moment. You might see a little patchy fog this morning. I haven't seen none, but some of you might see some. But sunny for today, a little warmer today, 74 the high. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. Jennifer used that term tranquil. There it is. That's what tranquil looks like. For tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 48 degrees, south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, a smidge warmer, 77 and sunny tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 50. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, a little breezy, but warm, 77 and mostly sunny. Winds will be early out of the south 5 to 10, picking up 15 to 20 for Thursday afternoon. Friday, that's bringing in a little cooler temperatures and a slight chance of rain. We are looking at a 20% chance of showers Friday, mostly sunny otherwise with a high of 61, and then a 30% chance of rain for Friday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 38. And then looking at your weekend, for Saturday, there is a slight chance of some rain showers early Saturday morning, but sunny for the most part, high of 68. Sunday, sunny skies, high of 75 degrees. All right, it is 7:16. We're going to get you into your Roswell Livestock Report recap with Smiley Wooten. We'll take a quick commercial break, and then Robert Sherman with Walker Aviation Museum will join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,545 head of cattle sold on Monday on a higher market with excellent buyer attendance compared to last week. Stocker calves sold $5 to $12 higher, feeder cattle $5 to $10 higher, packer cows sold steady, packer bulls $5 to $7 higher, 3 to 400 pound steers $212, $220, 3 to 400 pound heifers $182, $195, 4 to 500 pound steers $190, $212, 4 to 500 pound heifers $172, $182, 5 to 600 pound steers $196, $212, 5 to 600 pound heifers $163, $172, 6 700 pound steers $174, $50, $196, 6 700 pound heifers $149, $163, 7 800 pound steers $158, $174 and a half, 7 800 pound heifers $145, $149, packer cows $70 to $78, canner and cutter cows $60 to $68, packer bulls $88 to $98, feeder bulls $75 to $82. Top at the cow-calf pairs, $1,200 to $1,325 per pair, and the bred cows not well tested this week. We do appreciate the business. We will talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Representative Greg Nybert has always and continues to believe in less government interference in our lives, Second Amendment rights, strong and consistent enforcement of the law, no leniency for criminals, right to life, and government spending within its means. Greg Nybert has represented House District 59 fairly and consistently. Please vote for Greg Nybert, District 59.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Representative, Richard Taylor, Treasurer.
This is Larry Marker, independent write-in candidate for Commissioner of Public Lands. Together, we can take back our public lands while preserving the integrity of your vote. It's easy to vote for Larry Marker. On your ballot, go to the space provided for declared write-in candidate. It's under the heading Commissioner of Public Lands. Mark the oval and write in Larry Marker. Together, we can take back our public lands and preserve the integrity of your vote. Go to LarryMarker.com for more information. Thank you.
Larry Marker, independent write-in candidate for Commissioner of Public Lands. Paid for by the Friends of Larry Marker.
Hello, we are Nevaeh and Sophia, student leaders from Nancy Lopez Elementary School. We invite the families of Nancy Lopez to our Family Literacy Night on Tuesday, November 1st from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Learn about our new core knowledge language arts program and join our teachers for fun literacy games. You will have the chance to win books and reading games, plus pizza slices from Dion's Pizza. Keep reading.
I'm Michelle Garcia Holmes, and I'm running for United States Congress. As a former policewoman, I put on my Kevlar vest, uniform, gun belt, grabbed my 12-gauge shotgun, jumped into my police car, and hit the city streets to keep you safe. I want to do the same for you in Washington. I'm asking for your vote on November 8th because our families deserve safe cities, a secure border, and lower gas prices.
Donate today at GarciaHolmesForCongress.com. Paid for by Michelle Garcia Holmes for Congress.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, we have Robert Sherman back with us. Good morning.
Morning.
How
Mike.
you doing today?
I'm doing good, Mike.
Good deal. So, do you have a festive group of
as usual?
trick-or-treaters?
No, actually, it's kind of a comeback from the COVID days, and the weather was great.
It was nice last
night. And put it this way, we had 80 plus trick-or-treaters at my door before it got dark.
Oh, wow.
So I thought, uh-oh. So I started going, okay, one piece of candy per person.
Like, were you prepared? Did you have enough?
I thought I was, I had,
You thought you had a good amount?
I thought I had enough, but anyway, we ended up having about 188 kids.
Oh, wow.
And, the positive thing about that is I live on a cul-de-sac, and a lot of cars just come in and they park, and then the kids can make a little circle around.
Yeah.
And there had maybe 4 or 5 houses that were giving out candy, and some people were gone to a party somewhere.
Sure, so not home.
They were shut down. But I would say 96%, I don't know how exactly percent, but I'd say 95, 96% of the kids were really nice, said thank you. It was just a real positive thing. And then about just toward the end, I had a really positive thing that happened. It's just people in the audience probably think, that didn't sound special to me. But anyway, there was a little girl that came up, and all of them, I think the costumes this year were really something.
There was quite a good technology and costuming's gotten better.
Yeah, it is really. So they were really good. So I say, I don't know, she's 3 years old, 4 years old. I don't have a kid that age, so I don't know, but it's a real little girl.
Mm.
And she walked up to me and she, got the candy and she's going to say, thank you. She says, what is your name? So I said, my name's Robert. And she said, Robert, thank you. Robert, have a happy Halloween.
Oh.
And it's just like, oh my God, almost brought tears in my eyes. So cute. And I'm thinking, man, those parents got it together, because she's just like, what's she going to be like when she's a teenager? I mean, she's already like 3 years old and just talking like an adult, And
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good. Yeah, that's cute when the kids, they start when they're at that age where they're not really old enough to understand everything you're doing yet, but then they understand manners and things, and this is really cool. Yeah, I'm sure that one will be a social butterfly when she gets older.
Yeah, so. She's good.
Good deal. Well, I'm glad to hear you had way more success than I did. No one showed up at our house.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Next year, I'll get your address and I'll just tell them, hey.
You go to his house?
No, just kidding.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But I live, close to Gay, and over in Gay Street, they had all kinds of, they had that 10-foot tall skeleton that the eyes blinked off and on. And
see, that's part of it too, is
some of the other
neighbors.
Stuff. Yeah. So they had, I said, well, check out the next street over, because they got all kinds of, this one house had maybe 25 things out in the front yard, blinking and doing stuff. So they were over there. I think they heard some noise, and I understand there was like a little haunted house over there somewhere. So.
Oh, okay.
So anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few of those that were out and about.
Yeah, kids were having fun. Everybody had a good time. So.
I know, of course, the Jesse McDaniel family, they go all out for Christmas, but they do the same thing for Halloween as well too. I imagine that neighborhood was hopping as usually is. So cool.
Anyway, we're of course the Walker Aviation Museum.
Not many trick-or-treaters there, I'm assuming, yesterday.
No. We're at the WAFBmuseum.org website.
Yeah.
And anyway, I met Jennifer Brady. Jennifer.
Who's she with?
Bradley. She's the new director.
Oh, okay. Oh,
but her last name, though, I think, is she's gotten married.
Okay.
Or something.
Anyway. Okay, cool.
But anyway, I met
Director
her.
of the Air Center?
Yeah. The temporary
cool.
one that's there. It might be permanent, but she's temporary right now until they find somebody. But they met her. She was on our board of directors at one time.
Oh, really?
In our museum.
So obviously,
and she actually got us our place to begin with.
Oh, so
she worked, in the terminal.
So a supporter of the museum.
So she's back as a supporter, and we went up and talked to her, and glad to see her again back in town.
Good deal.
So I know Jenna Landfor out there. She's drinking from a fire hose, trying to do stuff out there.
Yeah, she's quite busy.
She's
doing
really
that in
busy.
the college, everything else.
Oh
too.
yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad that's going on. Which, of course, for folks that aren't familiar, the Walker Aviation Museum is there, located at the Air Center, the airport. And it celebrates the history of Roswell Army Airfield / Walker Air Force Base, and the history of this region's role during the Cold War era with the Atlas missiles and the nukes, the glowworms, that era of our history. Roswell played a pretty important role in that, and we got a lot of desert, a lot of places to put big holes to put missiles in.
Yeah, no, it was actually, you look at it, people could come in, a lot of don't know, and even some people in Roswell that maybe have moved here fairly recently, or what that is, maybe the last 10 or 20 years, whatever. But, Walker was really a big training base during World War II, from about 1941 when they got the land and started building, and through 45, it was a training base. It was not a bomber base. And Nola Gay and Boxcar that dropped the atomic bombs did not come from Roswell. They came out of Wendover, Utah.
Though they have,
and then they went from there to Tinian, but when they got back, they came right back to Roswell.
Though both aircraft have spent time sitting on tarmacs in Roswell.
Yeah,
but this wasn't their home.
Not prior to the mission.
Yeah, post.
Right. And for all you book fiends out there, I was just going to mention, have an interesting book I'm reading. Bob Donnell told me about it, and thanks a lot, Bob. Now I'm doing nothing but reading this book.
Got him down the worm.
I was sitting on my front porch waiting for the trick-or-treaters, and I was reading my little book there.
You got him down the wormhole.
Yeah. So. Countdown 1945 is the name of the book. It was #1 bestseller. It was copyrighted in 2020, but Countdown 1945 by Chris Wallace. Everybody know Chris Wallace, the news guy. And it reads really well, and each chapter is kind of like what day it was and where the location was, and it talks about these different characters that all were involved with the development of the atomic bomb and how complex it was in getting ready for the event. And meantime, what Truman was doing, Roosevelt died, and now he was over there to meet Churchill and Stalin for the first time, and talks all about that in detail. But very interesting stuff.
It is pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So you get it. I'm guessing you're seeing what's going on here in New Mexico with the development and, of course, the political
Yeah, and I didn't
side.
realize that before they set off that first bomb at Trinity, it was raining like crazy before it got light. They were going to do it at right sunup. And they were guys up in there with a bomb up in that tower.
Oh.
He's kind of guarding it and stuff, but there was all kinds of lightning going on all over the place. And he was thinking, this might not be a good thing.
Right. It's like one bolt of lightning hit this
steel
thing,
tower. And
we're all gone.
But they didn't even know if this was going to work or not. This one, and this test took place while Truman was over in Europe meeting with Stalin and Churchill, and if it didn't work, and one of his main military advisors, Navy admiral, he thought the bomb was going to be a dud. It wasn't going to work at all. And he kept telling him, don't even count on it, because But they were looking at that mainly to try to save American lives and in the long run, Japanese lives.
Sure.
And
ultimately, that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Because obviously, shortly after we sent those two atomic bombs flew them to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
They were the first one softened them up pretty good. The second one sealed the deal, and they were ready to surrender. By
and
then.
about the same time the second one dropped, Russia entered the war, like they said they were going to do several months ago. But
that between that and Japan at that point was, and I think Germany was out of the picture at that point.
Yeah, Germany was out of the picture.
So Japan was on an island here, literally on their own here, and the empire was doomed.
I didn't know when they were developing that. They were planning on hitting Germany and Japan on the same day.
Oh, really?
But
Germany,
So
anyway, I would have been a little bit more worried about.
Yeah, me too.
Germany, because there's a lot of land, and that's the middle of a
lot
continent.
of surrounding.
For Japan, you can
allies scattered around.
Yeah. That would have been a little bit trickier to pull off.
They were thinking about it, but whether they would have pulled that off or not is another question. Yeah. So anyway, and another book I'm reading is called Enola Gay, and this is one that's written around 1977.
Okay.
And it's by Gordon Thomas and Max Morgan Witz, but Enola Gay. It's interesting in that about every third chapter, it's talking about what's going on in Hiroshima. It has the Japanese things that are happening, and it talks about a particular, submarine captain, and he's the one that ended up sinking the Indianapolis, and a bunch of other stuff. It's just kind of, this was going on the American side, this was going on the Japanese side.
Perspectives.
But it's very interesting little details of stuff, and I find that one very interesting too. So
sounds like it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But if you love that kind of history and stuff, then we would love to encourage you to come and visit the Walker Aviation Museum. It runs around the flight schedule there at the airport there,
and that's changing on the 3rd.
Are they going to add or
no? The planes were normally scheduled to take off to Dallas at 9:45.
Okay.
So we were coming in 7 to 7:30. I know Ted is our main guy out there. Ted Smith. He was here last month.
He was on the radio with us last month.
And he's a great historian. My gosh, you mentioned something, next thing you know, the next day he has all kinds of pictures and
he
data
loves
and
to
stuff.
research and
and
I know he was an intel guy in the military, so I think that's just his nature is to dig and research.
I kept asking him, what did you exactly do? And he said, if I tell you, I'll have to kill you.
But I think a lot of research was very much a big part of his job.
Right,
So
right.
I think that's kind of just what he loves doing is going and hear the story and then find the history behind the story.
Yeah. So anyway, up until then, Monday through Saturday, we were open between 7:30 until about 9:45, 10 o'clock. Depends if everything got really quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if the plane was delayed, we would stay open a little later.
Yeah.
But starting on the 3rd, I think the 3rd of November and through all of November, the plane that we're talking about is just one, and it's going to be here waiting, and it's going to take off. Well, no, it's going to come in, and it's going to take off at 10 till 2.
Okay.
So
it's got a little
military, we say 13:50, but it'd be
the rest of us
1:50 in the afternoon.
Yes.
It'll take off. So we'll be coming in probably around 11:30 till 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Approximately.
So midday, lunch hour?
And the lunch hour.
Yeah, come on down and, go see the museum and then have lunch there at the airport.
That's
while
right.
You're at it. Have
Go over
burrito
there
or something.
Go see Reggie. She's our little cook over there.
Yeah, they got great food over there too. So, but definitely check it out and see the history of, the real, like you said, this was a training base during, prior to this. And
we trained about 14,000 advanced pilot training.
Yeah.
Because they came in as a pilot, but they were training them in an AT-11, which is a double-engine aircraft.
Okay.
And in those aircraft, they also had Norton bomb sights. So besides training
they were
pilots
getting the more
to fly
advanced
multi-engine,
technology,
so that when they
time.
left Walker, they could go fly B-24s or B-17s in Europe, whatever.
Yeah, which
then,
obviously that was the makeup. And so,
and then the bombing training. And that's why we have some concrete bombs on display and some sand bombs that had sand in them.
Well, and that's New Mexico, even to this day, because we do have a lot of federally controlled land in this state of New Mexico. But even to this day, there's good hunks of this state that serve as bombing ranges for military to this day. That's kind of like when you, if you ever go do the Google Earth type thing, and occasionally you'll see something like I think just kind of west of here. Yeah. And there's like a, if you look on Google, there's like a little swastika and everything. That was one of
and
the.
Then there's a little boat outline.
Yeah. Those were used during World War II as bombing training grounds and things. But they still do that to this day. I know, like Holloman Air Force Base and those. When I was there, was stealth bombers, but now they got 16s up there. They're practicing and dropping bombs in the desert out here and doing all that stuff. And so it's a perfect ground even now for training of our military pilots. And
they're concrete bombs and stuff, and people say, well, why were they concrete bombs? And I said, well, they took a poll, and the cattle decided, all the cows out there decided they didn't like the explosive. They just rather have the concrete bombs. No, we didn't. They were saving them. Yeah, the real bombs for the war.
Yeah. These were inert concrete. Yeah, right. They were, getting to feel like, even in this modern day, they drop. We only drop lives, in war, or if there is some training that they want to see live to see. But like when we were stealth, they had 25-pound concrete teardrops.
Really?
Yeah, called them BDUs. And we loaded them on what was called a SU that you could put 6 of these little bomblets on. On the front of the bomb, it had a little plunger, and it would hit a spotting charge. It was weighted so it would, when it dropped, the nose down, and so when the nose hit, it created a big spot. Now, if you're a human, it'd probably blow off your foot, but it wouldn't be a real bomb explosion. Yeah. So that was what we used when we were in, and they don't actually put 500 pounds of explosive in there and say, all right, let's turn that loose around. But we do, like, there was a time where I was sent to Las Vegas, to Nellis Air Force Base, and there they towed our jets way out to the middle of nowhere. We loaded live bombs on them, and then we blew up a barrel in the middle of the desert while a bunch of generals watched and oohed and awed. So occasionally we would do that, but yeah, the only other time I loaded lives was when they didn't come home. They were being dropped on things. So. Anyway, sorry about that. I got a little off topic.
That's great. Our current board members are myself, Allie Bishop is our treasurer, Katie Yates, Sandy Correa, she's a secretary, Bob Donnell, he was one of our first presidents, Juliana Halverson, Judy Armstrong, Jerry Cloffer, Friar Jarek Nowacki, Catholic priest over there, Stephen Miller, Ted Smith is our the newest guy. So we're getting actually... got a phone call the other day, and this gentleman sending us a jacket, and it said his dad was actually playing for the Chicago Cubs.
Really?
And he came in World War II, and right after the war.
Okay.
But anyway,
interesting.
At the end of the war, he came in the service, and he was has a jacket they're sending us, and has a big patch on it, and it says 8th Air Force Champs, the Walker Bombers, 1954.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's going to be kind of a nice thing, but he was, of course, being a professional baseball player, but he was on the team, and has a nice blue and white jacket, so with a big patch on it. So
we played a lot of games and stuff in the military, and had little fests and baseball, whatever.
Well, matter of fact, 1954 wasn't that when we were in the World Series? That was my age group.
When they went to the Little League World Series and all that.
Yeah, when they won the World Series. And that's about 1955 or 56. I think I was like 12 years old.
Maybe get some of those historical society folks taking a look at it. Maybe they can help shed some light on that thing, too.
Yeah, but that was kind of the time when, baseball was a big thing in Roswell.
Yeah.
You had the Roswell Rockets.
Yeah. Well, Joe Bauman Stadium, the history behind that stadium and the name that graces that stadium, that's all part of that. So that's really cool. So I'd look. You have to take some pictures and show us that jacket. Next time it comes in, or God forbid they let you bring it. That'd be really cool.
Oh, I'll bring it.
Yeah, cool, good. I'd like that. I think that'd be kind of cool to see here. But
hold it up and people can go to their computer and check it out.
There you go. And who knows? Sometimes there might be some folks that lived here during that period. And
I was on that team.
Exactly. And then you start learning a little bit more about the history behind it. But That's what I love about the Walker Aviation Museum, because it's that as much as it is going into the future, because we're talking about history and all that, but the other part of their mission statement is promoting science, math, and engineering, and promoting youth getting exposed to these careers and these things that deal with that. Obviously, much of it dealing with aviation stuff, but just getting kids and showing them what careers in STEM technology look like. And so,
Mike, you're getting so well trained. The actual mission statement is
yes,
and encourage our youth to explore careers in science, technology, engineering, and math with an emphasis on aviation. That's the last half of our mission statement.
But and so that's where they actually have simulators there where the kids can come in, and they do field trips, but they can get checked out on it, kind of like shop class or a library card, and in essence come on their own. Obviously, when during operational hours and things and arrangements made, you just can't roll in at 2 a.m. But if once you get that card and you've been checked out on it, you can start logging, and that actually counts towards pilot training. And so that simulator hours do count in your training. So if you have someone that's trying to pursue a pilot's license, this actually is counting towards that. So that's just one of the facets. I know you guys do a lot with like when you have youth groups come over,
right?
Which, by the way, you can book your youth groups to come and tour.
Matter of fact,
facility.
yes, that's right. We're trying to coordinate with Roswell Independent School District, Sidney Gutierrez School, Gateway School, All Saints Catholic, Assurance Home, Civil Air Patrol. We've had actually 4 classes from the Roswell Job Corps come out in the last few months.
That's great.
Local churches and stuff like that, and they're Lockheed software on those 2 computers, and we got those thanks to a grant from Excel Energy. So thank you, Excel.
They're always involved, aren't they?
Yeah.
Excel, yeah.
And so we have a couple of flight simulators there, and they're set up with a 172 as far as the flying, but you can fly 50 different aircraft, and like you get a airline pilot come in and goes, oh, okay, 172, okay, fine. I said, you can select an F-22 Raptor and select to land in Istanbul, Turkey at 9 o'clock at night in the rain.
I got a feeling your heavy pilots probably want to get in the sports car.
Yeah, get in the sports car.
Yeah, they want to get the 22s.
Yeah, let me get away from these 4 big engines. Yeah, right.
Well, and it's funny. Each aircraft its own. It's there was a guy actually, because there's a pilot when I was in the Air Force. He was one of the F-117 pilots there, but he was one of the few that came off of heavies. Like a pilot that flew 117s, especially when I was there serving, that was never their first aircraft. They always come off of different aircraft of 15, 16.
Just like the SR-71.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Like,
and so this particular guy came off of cargo. He was, I think he flew like 141s, I think, actually, before he flew, or I think he did a little stint of 130s there. But anyway, he was actually injured. And so he had a hitch in his giddy up, a limp. And but he qualified to fly. He's still on pilot. But because of his hitch, depending on what foot he was on, his nickname was 5'11", 6'1". So if he was on his left foot, he's 5'11". He's on his right, he's 6'1".
That's funny.
So 5'11", 6. But
well, it's funny for me to say, but it's not funny for him, I'm sure. No.
But the part that's funny about it is that man was probably one of the most experienced and one of our better pilots and things like that. But he used to tell all kinds of stories about how they treat those like the big plane guys wanting to fly the little that type mindset, and then the little planes, they have their braggart thing, and then of course they're like, you should try that in a B-52, they kind of get into all that, those kind of arguments, but
we had like my experience was when they 1976 in Beale, when they brought the U-2s up from Tucson, and they joined forces with the SR-71.
Oh wow,
boy, that was very interesting. Because the SR guys were kind of like you would, personality-wise and picture-wise, would be kind of like the Thunderbird pilots.
Yeah, I get you.
And the other guys were like U-Haul, semi truck drivers, blue collar,
Sure.
because they flew long missions. The plane took a lot of muscles to handle.
Sure.
And
where
you weren't out
everything's
running around doing refueling and all this fancy stuff and super high speed, but
yeah,
they were out there just trucking along and having to maintain this plane plus or minus about 3 miles an hour, so they wouldn't have overspeed or stall at that altitude in the U-2. So it was really a tough job for them.
Yeah.
And
well,
you would have guys up, like the SR guys would be standing at the bar having a little bottle, glass of wine, and the the U-2 guys would be laying on a tray, scooting around on the floor, and drinking beer and throwing bottles around.
That sounds about right.
I think, but they kind of emphasized that just to be the different.
Sure.
And they actually had some people sneak in and put their sign on all the lockers of the SR guys. And
well, it's funny, and you can say what you want, but because it's like for two aircraft that kind of have the same job.
Yeah.
They do it completely the opposite way,
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean? And that's what's kind of cool about it.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, both are equally important. Now, let's face it, because the SR-71's a heck of a lot more expensive to run than the U-2.
All right.
Its lifespan was a lot shorter than the U-2. Matter of fact, I think NASA still uses an SR-71 here or there, but most of them are sitting in plane yards or
Before I left
Booners.
Beale in 1992, they had retired. About that year, 91 or 92, they retired.
Well, the problem with them is they're
from the military.
They're just too expensive to fly because but they are the fastest. Those things will get you from coast to coast, lickety split. But it's just weird how one used speed to collect spy data while the other uses the low high kind of, or not low high. But
good example
quiet and high
of the speed is if you left. An SR and a 30-06 was fired at Los Angeles toward New York, and that bullet could maintain its speed as it left at the muzzle of 30-06 bullet. The SR would arrive in New York 5 minutes prior to the bullet arriving there. So they were flying about 200 to 300 feet per second faster than the muzzle velocity of 30-06. So
literally faster than a speeding bullet.
That's right, faster than a speeding bullet. And on the cost. The one time we were getting ready to launch out of Beale north over the Hudson Bay and Greenland and, fly off the coast of northern Russia and then come back and land at Lakenheath. It was a pretty long mission, but they had several refuelings. But because of the value of the aircraft, they'd have a backup tanker and a backup tanker to the backup tank. So we were running a little late. We had a problem. We dropped something in the cockpit, and the wing commander said, Bob, I hope we get this plane off on time because we have 18 tankers airborne waiting for this aircraft. 18 tankers.
For one airplane.
For one airplane. And that's because you had 6 refueling areas.
Well,
and you had 3 aircraft waiting at each refueling area just in case one of them had a problem or technical issue or something.
That's why one of the reasons why that aircraft is so expensive is it gets there fast, but it uses a lot of gas doing it.
A lot of other people are involved.
And a lot of moving parts there. But that is cool. Where a U-2, it's slow, high, and of course, were they using the vehicles to catch the wingtips and all that back then? And
the U-2s? Oh, yeah. Still same thing.
Yeah, they so because the wingspan.
So when they take off, the wheels fall off the wings.
Yeah.
And people go, what?
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, it's almost a glider. With an engine.
Right,
it's basically that, but the wingspan is so
and it's
far
it's
on
a tricycle gear.
Yeah,
it's not it's just a bicycle type.
Yeah, and the material's so light that the wings droop. So they actually, when the plane comes in, they actually have to drive cars along the side to let the wingtips rest on the roof so they won't smack the ground and break. And so taking off is the same way. And so that, it's because the windspan's a vast, but it's also light material, so it kind of got some flexibility.
When they come in, the car chases them down, and because a pilot in his pressure suit can't see the ground, he's sitting there, and I talk him down. You're 10 feet, 8 feet, 7 feet, because he has to basically stall the aircraft and land it. And then they have titanium skid things on the wingtips, so if they happen to hit the ground.
Oh, okay. So a little bit of protection.
Then the crew follows them out, jumps out, and they lift up the wing and they stick in those pogo wheels so that then they can taxi on in.
Well, because the pilots, they wear a whole different flight suit than other typical.
It's a full
flight.
pressure suit, just like you see a guy walking. And
now I'm sure it looks more like a NASA suit, not quite as bulky, but it's closer to that than it would be what you would think as a flight suit with a.
Oh yeah, no, it's kind of like it's a full pressure suit actually.
Yeah. So which goes to that point you were talking about earlier. It's hard for them to see the ground. I mean, one, because of the way the plane's designed.
Yeah,
but
and
two
during
is,
that suit, and they're kind of looking out.
but they're kind of
strapped in.
Yeah, they don't get the freedom of all this
moving around.
Yeah.
Right. Also, this year, want to be sure we recognize we're not having a golf tournament because we don't really have enough people to do this. But we've gotten some really great donations from Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development, Glenn's Furniture helps us out with some furniture stuff. Six Bomb Wing Reunion Group gave us some money because they're not going to be coming anymore. They're getting, I guess, older. And
that's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, yeah. And David Petroleum Company. Last year, Roswell Toyota, XL Energy, several doctors in town and stuff. Phil Cathy, Paul Engstrom, Lloyd Hughes, Aircell have been big supporters in the past. So we haven't touched base with them, so we'll probably get some support from other folks here pretty soon.
And obviously, especially since you're not having one of your big fundraisers, the golf tournament here in May, then we're going to need to rely more on the generosity of the public here. So,
and then we try to give them credit. We'll get some signs up that say, this museum is open thanks to blah blah blah. And, so you get a little marketing recognition, and then a lot of people don't want it, but we want to sure. Like we want to recognize flight simulators. We've got nice little signs that says this is courtesy of a grant from XL Energy. Stuff. So
we do appreciate all those folks.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But if you're an individual and you're just like, hey, I just want to donate some money here, you can always go directly to the Walker Aviation Museum website, www.wafbmuseum.org, and you'll find a Donate Now button there. Obviously, you can learn about the history of the museum and all,
Amazon Smile.
The Amazon Smile is another thing. You'll find a link there, and I'm sure most people have heard of this, but if you haven't, when you go shop on Amazon, if you use the Amazon Smile link that's available through the Walker Aviation Museum, you can, and then just bookmark that. Then every time you shop Amazon, you go through that portal, and the museum gets a little bit of change every time that you make a purchase on there.
Right.
And enough people do that, the museum gets a nice little check at the end of the month thanks to Amazon. So if you are a frequent Amazon shopper, well, one way you can support local by doing that is going through the Smile link and helping the museum that way too.
Right.
So what else there?
Typical scenario when we have students come visit us, and we usually bring them in groups of 8 because of the 2 flight simulators. So we have a pilot, co-pilot, and they're there for about maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes or so. We take them out to flight line fence and brief them on the aircraft parked out there and the aircraft industries there in the Roswell Air Center. Then we come back and give them a short history of the base. And they see a couple of these touch screens that we have that give you a 2-minute history of the Atlas missile and the Walker Air Force Base. And then they're broken into groups of 2 groups of 4. And 2 of them, 4 of them get on the flight simulators like a pilot, co-pilot, and take turns.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other group of 4 students are seated in front of a large computer screen, and we show them a little video on developing a Venn diagram on how to, determine a best career for you, potentially. And then we show them the following videos: Careers in Aviation, Eastern New Mexico University Roswell Aviation Maintenance Technician Program, Day in the Life of a Wind Turbine Engineer, Crumlin Auto Group, and Eastern New Mexico University Roswell Auto Mechanic Program. Energy careers, oil well workers, what does a registered nurse do, and several Air Force recruiting videos that are about 2 minutes long, aerospace ground equipment, air traffic control, electronic principles, geospatial intelligence, and then the last one we show them is a day in the life at CIA, and they're doing a lot of advertising in science magazines, the CIA is, on some of their STEM jobs.
Oh, cool. So if you're a youth group or any of that and would like to schedule something, again, you can find all your contact information at the website, wafbmuseum.org. The Walker Aviation Museum also has a Facebook page. You can reach out there. Or, of course, come by the museum here during the flight schedule and pop in and talk to.
40 feet away from the TSA check-in.
There you go.
We're right there inside the terminal.
Yeah, the main entrance. If you go to the main entrance, it'll hit you right in the face as you walk in there. It'll be right there.
As a matter of fact, we're in there usually playing a video, and when I'm in there, I play a particular one. It's Gary Sinise is the guy that does the narration, and it's Enola Gay B-29 Superfortress, the bomber that dropped the atomic bomb, narrated by Gary Sinise. It's just an hour and 28 minutes long, and you can go on YouTube and find it. And it's broken up in about 8 or 10 different sections, all about the development of the B-29, Tibbets, how he became a pilot, all this kinds of stuff, and how they trained to drop the bomb. And they were worried about being far enough away when it hit the ground and exploded, and it didn't hit the ground. It was set to go off at 1,860 feet above the ground. But
Right.
they would be far enough away, about 9 miles away, so that they wouldn't be damaged from the shock wave.
Yep.
So there's a lot of stuff that went on there. And so you can see all that stuff by just going to that YouTube video, the Enola Gay B-29 Superfortress.
By the way, they had to use slide rules, and they didn't have computers to tell them that, by the way, you need to be 9 miles away. They had to figure all that out by hand. So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Robert, as always.
Appreciate
Appreciate the visit. We'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you.
All right, 7:54. Let's take a quick news update, quick break before we get you into more news. Don't go away.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. We have a traffic alert for you. First, drivers on Main Street between College Boulevard and McGaffey Street in Roswell will experience some lane closures beginning Wednesday, but traffic will continue to flow through the work zone during an estimated 5-week pavement maintenance project. The project will be done in 3 phases: College Boulevard to 6th Street, and then 6th Street to Alameda, and Alameda to McGaffey. Work will be performed on the northbound and southbound lanes to include the turning lanes during each segment. Also in Roswell, an upcoming public meeting on November 7th at the Roswell Convention Center. The purpose of the meeting will be to discuss the old Yucca Recreation Center site at 500 South Richardson Avenue. The city says it's looking for community input on the facility, which was closed in 2016 and torn down 2 years later. City staff will be on hand to answer questions and seek input on the best course of action for the land. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Let's catch you up on a little bit of soccer from over this past weekend, which actually in one case extends to right now, the middle of the week, because one team is still playing, and that's the Goddard Rockets in the 4A boys soccer draw. The Rockets are now 17-4 after edging St. Pius on Saturday at home in Roswell, and that was a 1-0 count in overtime. St. Pius came in as the 5th seed, Goddard the 4th seed. Goddard continues on to play a familiar foe. The Rockets will be at number 1 Lovington Wednesday, tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Also in girls soccer, Goddard lost in overtime at Los Alamos by a 2-1 count. Goddard finishes the season 14-8, and NMMI finishes its season at Hatch Valley, a 3-0 playoff loss. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Stocks closed broadly lower on Wall Street Monday, a downbeat finish for major indexes in an otherwise banner October for the market, including the best month for the Dow Jones Industrial Average since 1976. The Federal Reserve may reach a turning point this week as it announces what's expected to be another substantial 3/4 point hike in its key interest rate. Wells Fargo and Company said on Monday that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has begun investigating its hiring practices after the Department of Justice had opened a related probe related to diversity. Walmart has escaped a proposed class action lawsuit accusing it of falsely marketing store brand cough syrup as non-drowsy. A federal judge in Manhattan ruled Friday that the plaintiff, Aileen Goldstein's claims for economic damages were blocked by federal drug law. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Ready for some good economic news? Guess not. But New Mexico was 4th best in the nation to reduce its unemployment rate over the last 12 months. That's what the Bureau of Labor Statistics says. There are 2 strategies Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham has championed that have a lot to do with this: the Job Training Incentive Program and the Local Economic Development Act. They help companies expand, hire, and train thousands of new workers each year. For example, the expansion of these training programs that Michelle Lujan Grisham got through the legislature helped land Intel's new chip hub in Rio Rancho. That's 1,000 construction jobs and 700 new hires at high salaries. The Lujan Grisham administration now partners with 85 communities across the state to bring good new jobs to their local areas every year. It's true. Michelle Lujan Grisham delivers a stronger economy, not just the weather.
Paid for by New Mexicans for Michelle.
Approved by Michelle Lujan Grisham.
Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I know you've heard me say that you can trust Trustmark, but I want you to know what that looks like in real life. A few years ago, we installed a beautiful new roof for an older woman who was recently widowed. She was an artist and colors were really important to her. So when she said she didn't like the color of a brand new roof, we took that seriously. She had picked the color and signed off on it, but I just kept thinking, if she's going to walk into her house every day and be disappointed, then we're just going to redo it. So we did. We ripped that beautiful new roof off and replaced it with a slightly different color, and she was thrilled. Yes, it cost us quite a bit of money to make her happy, but I want you to know you can trust Trustmark to make it exactly right every time. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. They gathered for a prayer vigil when the shots rang out. Drive-by shooting last night in Chicago. At least 14 people injured, including a 3 and an 11-year-old and a teen.
They're all in various conditions between critical and non-life-threatening. We also have a person struck by a vehicle at the scene as well.
Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown on ABC 7 Chicago. There have been no arrests and there's no word of a motive. Crime is a big issue for voters in the upcoming midterms. And with Election Day a week away, President Biden's turning his attention to South Florida. He'll travel there today while former President Trump plans to stump there early next week.
The president will hold a fundraising reception in support of Democrat Charlie Crist, who's challenging GOP Governor Ron DeSantis. And this evening, he will hold a Miami rally for Crist and Val Demings, who's running against Senator Marco Rubio. The Real Clear Politics average of polls shows both Republicans leading their Democratic challengers. On Sunday, former President Trump will be in South Florida campaigning for Rubio. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Court appearance today for the man accused of attacking Paul Pelosi, the 82-year-old husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The suspect facing an array of charges.
Attempted murder, residential burglary, assault with a deadly weapon, elder abuse, false imprisonment of an elder, as well as threats to a public official and their family.
That's San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jensen. The suspect, David DePape, allegedly planned to kidnap House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Stocks in positive territory on Wall Street so far this morning. Right now, the Dow is up 17 points. The NASDAQ ahead 36. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau, Christian author and evangelical leader, here to remind you that God's gifts should never be taken for granted. Take, for example, your retirement savings. You've worked hard for your money, and God has rewarded you for that. Now, with record inflation eating away at the value of the U.S. dollar, those rewards are literally being taken from you. But there is a way the faithful can fight back. By diversifying your retirement account into gold, your savings can be protected. And that's what God wants. Even better, a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group allows you to transfer your current retirement funds into gold without fees or penalties. To see how it works, text the word FAITH to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold IRAs. That's FAITH to 989898. Take action right now, and I pray that your family is blessed with continued prosperity.
Federal judge blocks the merger of major publishing companies.
Penguin Random House effort to buy Simon & Schuster has been blocked by Federal District Judge Florence Pan, who agrees with the Justice Department argument that joining two of the world's biggest publishers could lessen competition for top-selling books. Penguin Random House denounced the decision, calling it a setback for readers and authors. It adds it is seeking an expedited appeal. The Justice Department argued that the $2.2 billion merger would reduce competition and likely damage a vital cultural industry. I'm Tim McGuire.
Experts from the UN's Nuclear Power Agency are inspecting 2 sites where Russia has made unfounded claims that Ukraine is manufacturing so-called dirty bombs. International Atomic Energy Agency Chief Rafael Grossi said that the inspections had begun at 2 locations and would be wrapping up soon. News and analysis, townhall.com. Some encouraging news for those looking for work in the Big Apple.
Starting this week, job seekers in New York City will have access to a key piece of information: how much money they can expect to earn for an advertised opening. New York will require employers as of November 1st to disclose a good faith salary range for every job, promotion, and transfer opportunity advertised, according to the city's Commission on Human Rights. Similar transparency laws are being adopted by a small but growing number of cities and states across the country in an effort to address pay disparities for women and people of color. John Scott report.
A shortage of computer chips hit Toyota's bottom line in the third quarter. The Japanese-based automaker says profits tumbled by 31%, the Q3 profit totaling $2.9 billion. Toyota says other challenges include rising interest rates, soaring materials costs, and fluctuating exchange rates. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch, and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes. Still, after 8 o'clock, welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes.
Welcome to it. My emotionally exhausted friend, I just saw your t-shirt.
Feels right in 2022, you know? You've been chewed up, spit out.
But stronger on the other side.
That's right.
There you go.
It's hardening, you know?
Iron sharpens iron.
Right. You got to burn your fingertips to get a callus.
Changing subject. I did see a cool picture of your kids dressed up as Halloween for going out trick-or-treating last night. They looked great. Rhiannon was a witch, right?
Yeah, she was calling herself a light-up witch. Because she had her dress had LED lights on it, would light up.
What was Hunter? I forget.
He was a pumpkin.
Pumpkin, that's right, pumpkin.
Yeah, they both picked them out themselves.
Nice.
So.
Well, they looked great. They looked happy, and hopefully they got a good haul of candy.
Oh, they definitely did. What's funny about Rhiannon, though, she only likes very specific candy. She likes M&M's, like plain M&M's, not peanut, plain M&M's.
Sounds like my wife.
And Hershey's chocolate. That's pretty much it.
Really?
That's it.
She doesn't like a Nestle Crunch or something?
She's never been into any other kind of candy.
Or Kit Kat?
She doesn't like fruit. She likes gummy bears, too. That's the other thing. So she's never been
crazy
on sugar.
Does she not like candy fruit's not like real fruit? They all taste like gummy bears?
She likes some real fruits. She likes bananas. That's like her go-to fruit.
Okay.
But
how does she feel about runts?
She's never had them.
She might like runts.
She might like runts.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because runts are kind of mellow in the, as far as face flavors.
I've always sort of thanked my lucky stars with Rhiannon's food aversion because there are certain things that it does work to our advantage. Like, she only drinks one specific kind of fruit juice and nothing else other than water. She loves water.
Okay, that's
so she'll
good.
drink either Welch's kiwi strawberry juice, like not even a different brand of kiwi strawberry.
It's got to be
Welch's
Kiwi strawberry,
or water, and that's it. So she'll drink water more often than not. She loves water, so that's one of the benefits. The other thing is she's not crazy about cookies, candy, cupcakes, stuff like that. She'll eat like the frosting off a cupcake, and then that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So it's sort of worked to our advantage that she's not crazy about a lot of sweet stuff. That being said, it's also worked to our disadvantage in that she only likes 3 things.
Right.
So.
Well, and even the non-sweet stuff, it's like chicken nuggets, but it's got to be these chicken nuggets. If it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of, I can get that. You just got to rope-a-doper on some things. Like I think the kiwi strawberry.
We've actually done that. We've put different liquids into the containers that she's familiar with.
Yeah.
She catches it right away.
Does she?
Dude, she does this thing where she'll go, no! Like, it happened to us once when we were trying a different kind of juice, and she, like, super tasted it for a second and, like, broke it down. She's like, this is not my juice. And then she's like, Mom and Dad are lying to me. And then it was like her whole world came crashing down.
I just would like to get her to try other, like, here's some high C. Try that.
Same. And she'll try it, but then she'll be like, Or like, okay, I had her try Hawaiian Punch the other day. And she was like, she was real hesitant to try it. And she tried it. She liked it, but she didn't want any more of it.
Okay.
Which means she didn't like it, but she was telling me she liked it because she was trying to get me off her case.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can get at least some other Welch's flavors. Like
one would think. I would think kiwi strawberry would be like a turnoff of a flavor because it's so sharp.
Like maybe slip her a white grape or try the white grape.
Oh, yeah. She likes apple juice too. That's the other one. Yeah. So in a pinch, apple juice works, but I feel so bad for her because she's really limiting herself to so many delicious things out there. She is. But the good news there is that the Halloween candy haul usually goes largely untouched until Mom or I have our way with it.
You're pretty good on getting what you want there. Mm-hmm. As long as you don't mess with the Hershey Kisses. Yeah,
don't touch your Kisses.
Or the M&M plain.
The Hershey's regular chocolate bars or the plain M&Ms, you're good.
Okay. How does she feel about just a regular chocolate that's not Hershey's?
She's okay with just regular chocolate.
Okay.
She just
so if it's like
crazy.
an Easter bunny or something
like
that's
nuts
not,
and stuff in it.
Okay.
I don't even know.
What about Kit Kat? Or Twix?
She's had a Kit Kat once. She didn't seem to like it. And Twix was a no-go.
Okay. Butterfinger?
Butterfingers are all Dad's.
Okay.
So she doesn't get to try those. The problem with the mini-size Butterfingers is they never put out a good size, fun size Butterfinger. It's always like little squares.
Yeah.
So, those are all Dad's.
Well, in all fairness, because they do gum up the teeth a bit.
Boy, do they ever.
And so maybe the bite size is better on the Butterfinger.
Yeah, probably. I know Dr. Keon's listening right now like, don't you dare.
Score bar?
Heath, I love.
Yeah.
They actually found one individual Heath bar in her candy haul, and I was like, yoink.
Yeah. Well, no one gives out score bars, but but they are one of my favorites.
I would agree.
So, let me give you the rundown because I'm just going to start listing candy for the next 30 minutes if I don't.
Circus peanuts. How does she feel about circus peanuts?
Yeah, that's what's it's gonna turn into that for 30 minutes. So let me get going. By the way, I picked up something that I shouldn't have. But I love them. The Oreo cookies.
Okay.
Regular Oreo cookies. But when they dip them in the fudge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
They're good.
So good.
They're good. But the problem is there's so few of them in the package.
I know.
They do that on purpose.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and to be honest, I'm thankful for that because if they put more in there, I'd eat all of the more.
Destroy
so they're doing me a favor.
Fair enough.
But, oh, man, I had a couple last night. And I was like, I forgot how much I love these. Oh, they're so good. Anyway, let me give you the rundown of the hour. We got talking about chocolate. I got to share this. We're going to get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. And I thought since tonight is Nancy Lopez Elementary's reading night out at Nancy Lopez. They're going to have pizza from Zion's. Zion's going to be providing pizza. So the pizza's going to be good.
That's reason enough to stop by right there.
Yeah. Man.
Some free Dion's.
I'm telling you all right now, they got awesome pizza. But if you go there on your own to go eat or something, get the turkey sub.
Yeah.
And and what they do is, I can't remember what dressing they give you. Politely say, you can keep that. Hand me the green chili ranch.
Green chili ranch every time.
And then you take the green chili ranch and you dump about half of it on the medium sub, and you'll thank me later.
Now, I'm not sure if it was the turkey that I had the last time or if it was something different, but the last sub I had from there was absolutely fantastic. They knock it out of the park when it comes to
my
the
new
sandwiches.
go-to now is that turkey and dumping green chili ranch on it.
Oh, yeah.
It is delightful.
That sounds fantastic.
Problem is, I eat it and I'm like, I'm too full for pizza, but I want pizza too. And so, yeah, it's a gluttony problem, but so delightful. But so I thought, since that's tonight,
yes,
and so we can remind our Nancy Lopez parents to come on out for their reading night tonight. But we're going to play. We had a bunch of the student council join us last week. We had a lot of fun, and they came and did a field trip, and sounds like they had a good time.
Yeah,
I think they did. So we're going to play that interview here in just a bit. Hopefully, these kids aren't watching or seeing or hearing it because
they're busy.
They should be in school right now.
That's right.
But for all the parents, we'll play that for you. Before we do anything else, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Tranquil weather pattern in place for today. We have abundant sunshine coming in for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. Touch of a breeze from the south and southeast. And our highs are up close to 75. Scattered cloudiness through the night and our low for the mid to upper 40s. And partly to mostly sunny for tomorrow with highs upper 70s. We'll be in the upper 70s to near 80 by Thursday with lots of sun and increasing winds. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. It is currently 44 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 79%. Winds calm at the moment. They say patchy fog still, but I don't think much of us are dealing with any of that now. Sunny for today. 74 our expected high today with south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight. Overnight low of 48 with south winds 10 to 15. Wednesday, partly cloudy, 77 for a high. South winds 10 to 15. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy and an overnight low of 50. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, a little breezy, but still warm. Mostly sunny, 77 for a high. Winds out of the south 5 to 10 in the morning. Will increase 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Friday, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers, otherwise mostly sunny, cooler, 61 for a high. And then for the weekend, sunny and 68 for Saturday, sunny and 75 for Sunday. All right, it is 8:16. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we're going to play that interview with the students from Nancy Lopez Elementary talking about their reading night on the other side. Don't go away.
Hello, we are Nevaeh and Sophia, student leaders from Nancy Lopez Elementary School. We invite the families of Nancy Lopez to our Family Literacy Night on Tuesday, November 1st from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Learn about our new core knowledge language arts program and join our teachers for fun literacy games. You will have a chance to win books and reading games, plus pizza slices from Dion's Pizza. Keep reading.
Buying a sewing machine from a big box store or online might seem like a bargain, but in this case, you really do get what you pay for. Just the machine. No lessons, no help with figuring out why it isn't working the way you expect, and no one close to fix it. Buying locally from an authorized retailer may cost a little more, but in the end, it will save you time, money, and aggravation. Come see me, Chris Ann, at So Easy Sewing, 200 East College Boulevard in Roswell, and let me show you why it pays to shop local. So Easy Sewing. You've never had it so easy.
Hi, I'm New Mexico's 5th District Division I Judge Eileen Reardon. This district covers Chavez, Lee, and Eddy counties. I want to thank all my supporters who believe in me and who have or will vote for me. I have integrity, honesty, and have consistently, to the best of my abilities, performed my judicial duties, and I want to continue as your 5th District Judge. As a voter, it's your privilege to go vote. You can vote early until November 5th or on Election Day, November 8th. Show your support by voting. I'm 5th District Judge Eileen Reardon, and I thank you.
Paid for by the Committee to elect Judge Reardon, Steve McCutcheon, Treasurer.
I'm Judge Reardon, and I approve this message.
average American takes 8 to 10,000 steps each day, and for those suffering from foot problems, each one can be agonizing. The podiatry team at Artesia General Hospital can help diagnose and treat foot and ankle conditions, including diabetic foot issues, arthritis, bunions, or other problems. Doctors Joseph Marino and Joseph Krupa are podiatrists specializing in wound care, fracture care, foot and ankle surgery, and more. Put your feet in good hands. Request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/podiatry APPT.
Have you noticed the days are getting shorter? This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're on the downhill side of the year, so every day is a couple of minutes shorter than the one before, even though your plants need plenty of food and water to keep them healthy. Like those globe willows that are turning yellow. A good dose of the right fertilizer will make them bright green again. No matter what the problems you're having, we probably have a cure at Roswell Seed Company. But come see us soon, because winter's coming, you know.
This is Larry Marker, independent write-in candidate for Commissioner of Public Lands. Together, we can take back our public lands while preserving the integrity of your vote. It's easy to vote for Larry Marker. On your ballot, go to the space provided for declared write-in candidate. It's under the heading Commissioner of Public Lands. Mark the oval and write in Larry Marker. Together, we can take back our public lands and preserve the integrity of your vote. Go to LarryMarker.com for more information. Thank you.
Larry Marker, independent write-in candidate for Commissioner of Public Lands. Paid for by the Friends of Larry Marker.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters. Mike Winters.
Joining us in studio this morning, I'm just going to hit all the microphone buttons on here. We have the Student Council. Is it the entire Student Council? Or just almost?
No, we have 19 members here.
So we got
35 altogether.
So we got a little over half of Student Council from Nancy Lopez Elementary joining us here on the radio this morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Good. How old is we got? Because you guys got Student Council. What's the is there first graders in Student Council, or does it start at like third grade or something?
It's third, fourth, and fifth.
Third, fourth, and fifth graders make up Student Council. All of you are at least in third grade. Some are in fourth, and some are in fifth grade.
Yeah.
So, all right, just for my own knowledge, raise your hand if you're a third grader. All right, so we probably about half here. I'm thinking, well, fourth, fifth, close to half. All right, how many fourth graders do we have? All right, about another 4 or 5 there, and then fifth graders. So it's pretty close. I think it's about 4 each almost. So it's pretty close. So let me ask you: are you fifth graders teaching these third graders how to do the job when you guys go to middle school next year? Because you guys are going to graduate here in a couple months.
Yes.
You all excited about that?
Yep.
Yeah, you excited for sixth grade?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good deal. And then, but you guys have to make sure these third graders and fourth graders know what to do, because when you guys go, the fourth graders are now going to be the fifth graders, so they're going to have to know what to do. And then these third graders are going to be the fourth graders, and they're going to have to show the next third graders how to do student council. So you guys have to do all that. So let me ask you guys, what do you guys do at your student council meetings? What kind of things do y'all talk about? What kind of issues do you guys deal with? As a student council for Nancy Lopez Elementary. You want to answer first, Liliana? Go ahead. She said she wanted to go first. She's like, I'll go first. Remember? I remember.
I'm trying to think.
Okay. But like when you had your last meeting, do you remember some of the things you talked about?
Yeah, we were talking about going on this field trip, and we're like going over like our scripts and what we're gonna read.
So getting ready for your to make these commercials and everything you're about to make for your literacy night event. Okay, so you worked on that. Cool. So how many of you guys do y'all get to say, like, when you want to talk, how do you talk? Because if there's like 35 of you, you can't just all talk at once. So do you guys have a procedure, or somebody's in charge that kind of runs the meeting and says who can talk when and all that? Do you guys have anybody that does that? Who's that? Who are the people that do that?
Miss Sanchez.
Okay.
Miss Sanchez, our teacher, and the other teachers we have.
Okay. Good deal.
And we're good teachers.
Good deal. But now, and I imagine when it comes to picking the stuff you talk about, they probably help you decide that too. But I'm guessing you guys pick some of the content some of the items that you guys want to do as a student council. So when you guys decide you want to have a fundraising event, or if you want to, help somebody in the community, then you guys decide who that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you guys, before we do the literacy night, what's one of the things that you guys are really doing right now to help people in the community?
A canned food drive.
Canned food drive. Okay.
Yes.
Is that going on right now?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
For this whole week.
For the whole week.
Yes. It started on Monday.
Well, is there a certain thing going on this week that's tied in with that?
Like whoever has the most cans.
Red Ribbon Week.
Red Ribbon Week.
Yeah,
Okay, Spirit Week, Red Ribbon Week. That's all happening. And what does that mean? What's for like moms and dads that are listening that don't know what Red Ribbon Week means? Tell them what that means.
So Red Ribbon Week is basically this. It's basically this week where we support not doing drugs and the 6 pillars of character counts.
Okay, so you kind of learn about character counts and making sure that students know and are practicing the 6 pillars of character counts, and then obviously telling kids to stay away from drugs and reminding them all the bad things that happen with that, right? Very good. And then on top of that, you guys are helping feed people that need food by collecting canned goods and all that. So you guys collecting food all week?
Yeah.
Okay. And so if, say I've got someone listening on the radio say, oh, I want to help other students at Nancy Lopez and bring them some food. How do we do that?
Drop it off at the office.
Okay. Go to the main office there. I would imagine they probably got to let you in and things. School's a little different nowadays. Yeah. You just can't roll up in there. So they'll but they just knock on the door or ring the doorbell there and say, hey, I'd like to drop off some food donations, and they'll let you in and be happy to do that. What kind of stuff do you want them to donate? What kind of foods do you want them to donate?
Canned food, like corn.
Okay, one at a time. All right, everyone shout out one.
Corn.
Corn, okay. Beans, okay. Carrots.
Green beans.
Fruit.
Whatever that comes in can.
Anything that comes in a can.
Vegetables.
How about sardines?
No.
They come in a can.
No.
No sardines?
No sardines.
No sardines?
No sardines.
Okay. How about beets?
Yeah.
Beets are okay?
We'll
All right, we'll accept beets. Okay. What about black olives? Yeah, okay.
Yep. Yeah.
We can have those. They're okay. What about succotash?
Yeah.
What's that?
I stumped you. It's got lima beans and corn.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And sometimes green beans. So that's okay.
Yeah.
You guys like lima beans?
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you like lima beans.
I like vegetables. Some people like.
That's almost half the crowd. I'm impressed. I didn't think that many kids like lima beans. All right, now I want to know. Do y'all like Brussels sprouts?
No.
Raise your hand if you like Brussels sprouts. So we got like 4, 5, 6 kids that like Brussels sprouts. All right. What about mushrooms? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
No, I said Emily.
All right. Okay. What about? I'm trying to think what else would go in a can that you. Oh, what about those little Vienna sausages?
Yeah.
You like those?
I never heard of that.
Yeah,
They're
you're not
okay.
missing out. You're not missing nothing. What about green chili?
Yeah.
If you gotta put it in a can, we'll accept that. But around here we like it fresh. So I'm curious, what's your favorite? And you know what? You wanted to go first, so I'll ask you first on this one. Favorite food? Like if not just canned, but overall, if you had to pick, like if someone told you, Liliana, you can only eat this food the rest of your life, and that's it, what would that food be?
I'm not that much of a picky eater, so I pretty much like everything. But if I had to choose one thing,
One food. That's all you get to. Like you're gonna get on a spaceship for the rest of your life to fly. Just keep flying, and you can only take one type of food with you. What would that food be?
probably spaghetti
Spaghetti with meatballs or without?
with meatballs.
With meatballs, because this is all you eat the rest of your life. You want to load it up with as many different things as possible. All right. Who else wants to answer? Raise your hand. Okay, go ahead. I saw your hand first. Go ahead. What would be your one food?
I would have to say...
Wow, that's like a press conference. They just put all the mics right at you. You look like you're the president now.
No.
But favorite food? One thing. Anything in the world. It doesn't have to be healthy. It's just whatever you like.
The same thing, spaghetti.
Spaghetti, okay. Y'all picking healthy relatively. That's a good one. Go ahead. You have your hand raised. What would you pick? Get close to the microphone so they can hear you.
For my one food, I think I'd pick asparagus.
Asparagus? Really? Good. And are you just saying that to make your parents happy, or is that really what you take? Okay, good for you. All right, you have your hand raised, sir. Go ahead and get near that microphone and tell everybody what your food would be.
Spaghetti.
All right. So we got 3 spaghettis and asparagus. All right, go ahead, young man.
Me?
Yes, sir.
Pizza.
Pizza for you. What would be on this pizza?
Literally just cheese.
Just a cheese pizza, and that's it.
Yes.
No pepperoni?
No
Remember, rest of your life. Some point you might want a piece of pepperoni. You can always take them off if you didn't want them, but you can't put them on if you don't have them.
Yeah, I would bring pepperonis.
Good choice. All right, we'll go with that. Yes, go ahead.
Pizza.
Pizza? What would be on your pizza?
Pepperoni pizza.
Nice. Okay. So we got a lot of spaghetti, a lot of pepperoni. Yes, young lady. Go ahead.
Pizza with black olives and pepperoni.
Nice. Okay. Very good. I'm going to take 2 more. Then we're going to move on. Okay, you have your hand raised. Go ahead. Get on near the mic there so they can hear you.
Spaghetti with bean balls.
Oh, spaghetti and meatballs. Very nice. Okay, one more. Yes, young lady. You come up to the mic there. Anna?
Pizza.
Pizza. All right. Anybody got a different answer than pizza, spaghetti, or asparagus? Okay, go ahead. Camilla, get right up by the mic there.
Salad.
Salad? Man.
Salad.
Go ahead. We got one over here. Go ahead.
Sandwich.
What kind of sandwich? Like peanut butter and jelly?
A lunch sandwich.
Like a meat sandwich, like a ham sandwich or a turkey sandwich?
Like with vegetables and mayonnaise.
Okay, so like a veggie sandwich, like lettuce and tomato maybe.
And lunch.
And lunch. Oh, a little lunch meat. Okay. All right. One more. Go ahead.
Watermelon.
Watermelon. See, I got you talking on the radio. You said you weren't gonna.
I just want one more though.
So, let's talk about the event that you guys are having on Tuesday night. So, you guys are going to be hosting at your school a family literacy night, right?
Yes.
Who wants to tell me what that's about? Raise your hand. Who wants to tell me about fabric? Go ahead, Liliana.
So it's basically a reading night.
Okay. And so are you guys going to be reading to kids, or are teachers going to be reading to you, or are we all just going to read to ourselves in a room? What are we doing?
No, it's where you can win like fun games, like books, and
okay.
You can take home a pizza for dinner while supplies last.
Okay. First come, first serve on the pizza. How many pizzas you taking?
I don't know.
I don't know. We had quite a few people in here said that this is all they're going to eat the rest of their lives. So you better get started Tuesday.
Okay, I'll make sure to go to the letter C.
What kind of pizza you guys going to have? Do you know? Do you know?
Pepperoni.
Do you know who's making it? Do you know who's making it? It'll probably be different kinds of pizza. Dion's pizza. Yeah. Have you guys eaten at Dion's pizza?
Yeah. No, I have not.
You've never had it?
No.
Well, you're in for a treat Tuesday night. You're going to get your first piece of Dion's pizza Tuesday night. You'll enjoy that.
Dion's pizza sounds good.
It's very good.
I've never tried it in my life before.
I got this belly here because of Dion's pizza. That's the ones that I got that from. Yeah, so you guys will enjoy pizza. And then we're gonna have games and things. Do you all like reading? Are y'all fans of reading?
Yeah.
So,
a little bit. I have a favorite book that I like to read mostly all the time.
Okay.
Reading is actually part of our homework.
Well, yeah,
I don't like reading that much.
You don't like it? Well, why is that? Why don't you like reading?
I like math more.
You like just math better.
And science.
Okay. I think once you find things you like to read, like you could read a book about math and science, and you probably would like it. It's all about finding the things you like to read about. And I know, like, you're in school right now, and the teachers kind of make you read certain things, but when you get home and your homework's done, you can read anything that, go to the library and read in any book in the kids section there that you want to,
There's this book called Animorphs, and I like it.
And is that your favorite book?
Yes.
Okay. I want to hear some more favorite books. Go ahead. What's your favorite book?
There's this book called Captain Underpants that I hate.
Captain Underpants. I know that book. My wife is a teacher, too, and I'm very familiar with that book. So, what's your favorite book? Get by the microphone there so they can tell you.
My favorite book is Junie B. Jones.
Junie B. Jones. Okay, that's a pretty popular one. All right, Sophia, go ahead. What's your book?
My favorite book is Dork Diaries.
I'm not familiar with that one. What's it about?
It's about this girl, and she's in high school, I think.
Okay.
And she has to go through like a reading contest with her two friends.
Okay.
But they try to impress the reading teacher by trying to get fake tattoos, but their mom did not let them.
Oh. Interesting. So that's a good story. That's one of your favorite stories.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Okay. Anna, what's yours?
My
Get that mic.
favorite book is it's called Guts, but I don't know if it's from, but I really like it.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about the book?
It's about this girl that wakes up one night and like her tummy's hurting, so she needs to go like throw up,
Okay.
and then she has to go to a therapist.
Okay. So it's kind of her story of her medical problem that she has, I guess, and try to get it fixed. Is that kind of it? Okay. Let's see. We got one in the back. Go ahead and make your way to the microphone here and share your book.
My favorite book that I read so far was Fish in the Tree. It was a book about this girl who has dyslexia and how she's trying to make herself like not look weird because in the beginning she was a nobody.
Gotcha. Well, and for people that have dyslexia, it's very hard to read, and they have to overcome and learn new ways to do all that stuff. So it's probably an inspiring story for people that share that, like the person in the book there. Go ahead, Camille.
I like this book that's called Poor Louie. It's about a dog that he thinks that his family doesn't like him anymore, but it's just because they're going to have a baby, and then it's his new brother, and then he loves his new brother.
Ah, that sounds like a good book. Good deal. All right, Liliana, go ahead.
I like most of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books.
Okay. Well, you got a bunch of those to pick from. So have you read every single one of them?
No.
Okay. Well, you got time. You get work through it. So, we got one over here. I can't. Oh, our hider. All right, hider. What
My
book do you
favorite
have?
book, it's actually a series of 5 books. It's called Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
I've heard of those. I'm familiar. Good deal. So have you read them all?
I'm actually right now in the 5th one.
Okay.
Halfway.
That's the hardest part about reading book series, and you'll learn, is if you start reading a book series and then you get through the books, you get kind of bummed when you're running out of books because you're like, man, the story's over, and I kind of want to keep the story going. I hope they made another one. So
I'm actually reading the last one.
Yeah, I know. So what are you going to do after that?
Oh, just start reading a different series or something.
Good. And you know what? It's okay if you want to read it again later. Don't go ahead. I did that a bunch of times. There's certain books I read 15 times, and because I liked them. All right, we'll take a couple more. You've had your hand raised. Go ahead and tell us your favorite book.
I like the series The Magical Treehouse.
The Magical Treehouse. Very cool. Good deal. Go ahead. You want to speak? You have a favorite book?
Magic Treehouse.
You like it as well, too? Okay, I'll take one more, and then we're moving on. Anybody else want to share?
Eva has her hand up.
Okay, go ahead, Eva.
It's called Ghost.
Ghost. And what's it? I'm guessing it's about a ghost, but tell us a little bit more about it.
It's about this girl who found an old thing with her older sister, and they found somebody else, and they was exploring, and they found this ghost thing, and they had this bottle thing, and the little girl was the ghost was carrying her, and she accidentally dropped it. Something was happening to her because she had a nose problem.
Oh, okay. And then we got to fix that problem. And sounds like a fun book. Good deal. Excellent. Well, want to remind people why you guys are here, so we want to tell them. But we want to invite the public to come out to Nancy Lopez Elementary Tuesday night, next Tuesday, November 1st. The event is from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. It'll be at Nancy Lopez Elementary. So come and enjoy as the who's your all's mascot? Y'all know this, right?
Falcon.
Yeah, okay. You better not get that one wrong. You might get in trouble. So as the Falcons from Nancy Lopez have a fun. They're going to be doing games. They're going to be reading books, and like we said, the highlight, Dion's Pizzas, bringing free pizzas for everyone that wants to come and enjoy pizza while supplies last, right, Liliana? So for you guys in school, I'm curious now. We got a couple minutes. I just want to ask fun questions. What's your favorite subject in school? Raise your hand. Who wants to go first? Kylie, we'll let you go first since you're right here.
Science.
Okay. What kind of science are you guys learning right now? Like, what are you talking about in science? What subject? Do you remember?
No.
No. Like, what's like your favorite thing you've done so far talking about in science? Like the thing you enjoyed most?
We did owl pellets.
Okay.
Owl pellets. We had looked through owl pellets, and that was probably the funniest thing I've done in science.
Nice. Okay. Very cool. All right, Anna, go ahead since you're right up here. Pick a mic. Well, they're going to point them all at you, just like the.
My favorite subject in school is math.
Math. Okay. What kind of math are you doing right now? Like, what are you learning in math right now?
Like, I'm a higher group, so like we're doing like division.
Okay, so working on some division at the moment. Okay. Very good. Excellent. All right, Camilla, go ahead. What's your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject is math because I like division and times.
Okay. Is that what you working on division as well at the moment? Okay. All right, Emily, let's get you near a mic and tell folks your favorite subject.
My favorite subject is math. We're learning about the box method and
the box method. Yeah, tell us what the box method is.
Grown-ups don't know about.
Yeah, we're not that smart about some of the names. Like is it a certain way to do the math? Like a certain procedure to do the math? Like this is a trick to get you to
using place value.
Yeah, it's using place value.
Okay, all right. We have one way in the back said their hand raised the whole time. Come on back up here. We'll let you go since your hand's been up the whole time.
I like science and language arts.
Science and language arts. Very good. Now, if you had to pick one or the other, language arts or science? Say again? Okay, science. All right, very good. All right, Jason.
I like science.
Okay. What are you learning in science right now?
I'm learning animal biology. I'm a wildlife biologist.
Okay. Is that what you want to do when you grow up?
What?
Do you want to, when you get be an adult? Do you want to be a biologist or work when you is that what you want to do as an adult?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, very good.
But I would like to.
But it would be a fun thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Liliana, go ahead.
I like ELA.
ELA. So you want to? Well, that's your favorite, learning English. So do you speak Spanish fluently?
No.
Okay. So I didn't know if you were learning Spanish and English too, because that'll be very helpful if you know both languages. If you guys are lucky, all you that can speak two languages, at your age right now, that's going to make you that's going to be very helpful when you guys are adults and things. Go ahead. What's your favorite subject? Science as well. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Noah. Get up in front of the microphone here.
My favorite subject is math.
Just here to help.
Is math.
Is math as well? Okay.
Because I'm doing division and fourth grade work.
Okay. Very cool.
Enrichment work.
Oh, good. It's not your favorite, huh?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Tell us your favorite subject.
My favorite subject is science because we were doing chemical reactions with food.
Nice. Okay. Like, so you're kind of, putting certain things on food and see how it, that's food.
Yep.
Food's all science. Food's chemistry.
Like we use this candy thing, and when you put the chemical in it, it fizzes up, and then it makes a chemical reaction.
Nice. Very good. Go ahead, Lisa. Go ahead and, yes, go right, got the mic and tell us what your favorite subject is.
Math.
Math as well. What are you guys doing?
Times.
Multiplication? All right. Do you still have to memorize times tables? Is that still the way they teach it? Okay.
Yeah.
I know sometimes
Problem solving embedded in it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because that was always a hard thing for us as kids, having to remember, the order and there was easy ones like 0 and 5 where you're like, oh, I can nail those. But then you get to like 7. You're like, uh-oh. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. What was your favorite subject in school? Or what's your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject is social studies.
So what are you learning in social studies right now?
We're learning about the native people and stuff.
Okay. Learn about the Native Americans and from like this area, or from like different parts of the country, or
I think from all around.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like I'm not from. I didn't grow up in New Mexico like you guys have. I was born in Maryland, in Washington D.C. area, and so we learned a lot about the Native American tribes that live there. But they're a little different than the tribes that live here. They weren't Plains Indians like the ones from that are part of this country. Or this part of the country. So we learned more about the Algonquins and some of the tribes that were home to the east. So when I was your age, so pretty cool stuff. All right, let's go ahead. What was your favorite subject?
My favorite subject is science.
Science as well. What are you guys doing in science right now?
Well, science is my favorite because we made these terraces. We planted rye and alfalfa, and the rye are overgrowing.
Okay, so you got to do gardening in science, and that was something. Now, do you want to do gardening like at home with your family? Do you do some of that?
Kind of, but at the same time, no.
Cool. Okay, well maybe that'd be something you get into. Maybe go get some plants from the store, and maybe have your own plant and see what you can do with it there. So.
More about like ecosystem, right? Exciting ecosystem.
I actually right now have some seeds for lettuce, but I haven't planted them.
Well, let us hope they succeed.
That was a good one.
I'm full of dad jokes.
Good.
Very good. So.
Wait, a joke?
Huh?
Did you just say joke?
I did.
You missed it.
Were you supposed to do something?
I have a joke.
You have a joke?
Yeah.
Is it a regular clean joke, Jason?
Is it a friendly joke? We're not going to get anybody in trouble if you tell me this joke, are you?
It's appropriate.
Yeah. Like your mom and dad wouldn't be mad at you if you tell this joke, would you? Think before you speak. Just saying. As a person who doesn't do that all the time, trust me, you want to do that. So, is your joke okay? Is it clean?
It doesn't go so slowly.
We don't want to make you nervous. Is it a joke that you would tell in front of other kids?
Yeah. Is it a joke? Because if it is, then tell it. But if it might be a little questionable, maybe we don't want to get nobody in trouble.
Well, my mom and dad let me say this, but
okay.
What did the bear? What did the bear say in the hot heat?
What did the bear say in the hot heat? I don't know what.
This is unbearable.
You're going to get a rim shot.
That was a good one.
I got a joke.
You have a joke too? Is it a clean one?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Liliana.
What do you call a bat with 2 carrots in its ears?
A bat with 2 what in its ears?
Carrots.
Carrots in its ears. A veg bat tool? No, I don't know. What would you call it?
Anything you want because it can't hear you.
And that's how they kind of guide. So, because they're kind of blind. You ever heard the term blind as a bat? Well, there's a reason for that, because they can't see very well. They use sonar to...
Some of you just studied bats.
Yeah.
What do bats use? Some third graders.
Yeah.
What do bats use?
They use...
Carrots.
They use echolocation.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
They're nocturnal.
Yeah.
They're ego.
Yeah. Have you all ever been to Carlsbad Caverns and seen the bats there?
Yeah. They're mammals.
Yeah?
They're mammals.
Yeah. Yeah, they're furry.
I'm president.
Yeah. I went one time to see the bats.
Can I say something?
Yeah, let me finish my story, and then I'll let you say it. But one time I went and saw the bats there at Carlsbad, and you ever been there to watch them come out of the cave at night to go hunting and all that? I did that once, and I picked a night that they didn't feel like going out. There's like 2 bats came out and none came out. So I did yet to see the good ones here. So go ahead. What was your story? You had a story? Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I thought you did. I'm sorry. Someone had a story.
They produce milk.
The bats do.
Yes, because they're mammals.
Have you ever had bat milk?
What?
Me either.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Bats are the only mammal that can fly.
Ah, that's true.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Yes.
What is that bell for?
To make people ask questions on what. No, it's something Sean uses. Sometimes when we make a plug or something, he hits the bell. It doesn't work very well. You can try to hit it. It sometimes doesn't work. Yeah, see?
What is that?
It's kind of flat. So, yes, you have a question?
Well, I have a joke also.
You have a joke? Okay.
Is it from Friendly? Yes. How did you make the tissue dance?
Oh, I know this one.
You put a little boogie in it.
You blow a little boogie into it. Yeah, I've been telling that one for years. That's a good one.
I have another joke.
Okay, well,
we're gonna take turns.
yeah. We'll do one here, and then we're gonna wrap this up because I just saw the time.
Me.
Go ahead. What? You have a story or a joke?
Joke.
Go for it.
Why did the bullet get fired?
I don't know.
The trigger got pulled.
Ah. Doo-doo. All right. So, anybody remember? Anybody want to do the details about Tuesday? You want to say it? You want to read it for us? Go ahead and tell us and read us for the yes. One more time. Read about the event that you want to invite everyone to come out to Nancy Lopez on Tuesday for.
Just read it. Just read that.
Yeah, just read it. Go ahead and read it. Yeah.
Say, I am Sophia, a student leader.
Hello, I am Sophia, a student leader from Nancy Lopez Elementary School. We invite the families of Nancy Lopez to our family literacy night on Tuesday, November 1st from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Learn about our new core knowledge language arts program and join our teachers for fun literacy games. You will have a chance to win books and reading games, and each family will take home a pizza for dinner while supplies last.
Nice. Good job.
Good job.
Good job. Very good. Now she's got to do that again here in the other room here in a minute. So very good. Well, thank you guys for coming and seeing us here today.
What do we all say to Mr. Winters on the radio?
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Have fun now. Now go get your. Now you guys gonna go record commercials and
Bye.
now do good in school.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys. There we go.
Nice meeting you.
Good job. Nice to meet you. There you go. There's our student council from Nancy Lopez Elementary. Bunch of good kids. Man, they're full of jokes too. And ironically, I don't get it. Like the favorite kids are way different than when I was a kid. Because if you would have asked me when I was their age, like favorite subjects, you know the answers you would have got: lunch, PE, art class, every one of them, math, science. That's great, but they think different than we did. They think different than we did. All right, it is 9:49. Let's go ahead and pause for local news.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. We have a traffic alert for you. First, drivers on Main Street between College Boulevard and McGaffey Street in Roswell will experience some lane closures beginning Wednesday, but traffic will continue to flow through the work zone during an estimated 5-week pavement maintenance project. The project will be done in 3 phases: College Boulevard to 6th Street, and then 6th Street to Alameda, and Alameda to McGaffey. Work will be performed on the northbound and southbound lanes to include the turning lanes during each segment. Also in Roswell, an upcoming public meeting on November 7th at the Roswell Convention Center. The purpose of the meeting will be to discuss the old Yucca Recreation Center site at 500 South Richardson Avenue. The city says it's looking for community input on the facility, which was closed in 2016 and torn down 2 years later. City staff will be on hand to answer questions and seek input on the best course of action for the land. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Tranquil weather pattern in place for today. We have abundant sunshine coming in for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. Touch of a breeze from the south and southeast. And our highs are up close to 75. Scattered cloudiness through the night and our low for the mid to upper 40s, and partly to mostly sunny for tomorrow with highs upper 70s. We'll be in the upper 70s to near 80 by Thursday with lots of sun and increasing winds. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Stocks closed broadly lower on Wall Street Monday, a downbeat finish for major indexes in an otherwise banner October for the market, including the best month for the Dow Jones Industrial Average since 1976. The Federal Reserve may reach a turning point this week as it announces what's expected to be another substantial three-quarter-point hike in its key interest rate. Wells Fargo and Company said on Monday that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has begun investigating its hiring practices after the Department of Justice had opened a related probe related to diversity. Walmart has escaped a proposed class action lawsuit accusing it of falsely marketing store brand cough syrup as non-drowsy. A federal judge in Manhattan ruled Friday that the plaintiff, Aileen Goldstein's claims for economic damages were blocked by federal drug law. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
When sudden flooding collapsed the city bridge this summer, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham lost no time sending special state funds to fix it and committing new state resources for flood control so it won't happen again. As one city councilman told The Record, this isn't just a one-time visit or check from our governor. We are going to have a partnership to continue to make things the way they need to be. A partnership that builds on state help that Michelle Lujan Grisham provided these last 4 years, securing $5 million for hangars and improvements at the Roswell Air Center, on top of the $5 million she authorized in 2020. In fact, the governor approved all Chavez projects in this year's infrastructure budget, including investments for Roswell, Hagerman, Dexter, Lake Arthur, and ENMU. And she's delivered $300 million for roads in the southeast corner in just 3 years, more than the previous administration delivered in 8. Trade her in for the weatherman? Now that just doesn't make sense.
Paid for by New Mexicans for Michelle.
Approved by Michelle Lujan Grisham.
If a sports injury is keeping you from the physical activities you love, the sports medicine team at Artesia General Hospital can help. Their orthopedic specialists and physical therapists work closely with you throughout diagnosis and treatment. No matter the injury, from ACL injuries, golfers and tennis elbow to foot and ankle pain, they'll get you back in the game. Appointments are available in Artesia or Carlsbad. Request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/sports.
Uplift New Mexico's economy and its colleges and universities by voting for Go Bond 3. Without raising your tax rates, Bond 3 will create 2,000 new jobs in 22 cities. Bond 3 will fund upgrades and improvements and advance education in healthcare, arts, technology, and trades. This fall, invest in our future. Vote for the bond that creates jobs and economic development. Visit bond3fornm.com. Paid for by the Go Bonds for Education Committee, Dr. Stephen Gamble and Ronnie Birdsong co-chairs.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price, and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For an estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Has the cost of health insurance kept you from enjoying the peace of mind knowing you and your family are covered for unexpected medical issues? Then we have great news just for you. Quality health insurance is more affordable than ever, thanks to federal and now state-funded financial assistance. Most uninsured New Mexicans will qualify for lower out-of-pocket costs than ever before. Let the friendly and knowledgeable team at Be Well NM guide you through the process to help you find out how little you can pay for quality, name brand health insurance. And our services are free. Visit BeWellNM.com today.
Hi, I'm 5th
District Judge Eileen Reardon. I'm a native New Mexican and I've lived here all my life. I graduated from NMSU and UNM law schools. The law has been my life. I don't make the laws, the legislature does. My job is to apply those laws to the facts without favoritism or political consideration, and I do that well. I'm asking for your vote on November 8th. I'm Eileen Reardon, District Court Judge. Thank you.
Paid for by the committee to elect Judge Reardon, Steve McCutcheon, Treasurer.
I'm Judge Reardon, and I approve this message.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:58. Stay tuned next hour. About 9:15 or so, Lori Schatz will join us. I'm not sure if we're talking Kiwanis Club or Schatz Productions or a little bit of both, but she'll join us next hour, and we'll talk all about that. Hey, don't forget today, the fine folks at Vitalent will have their Bloodmobile over at the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico from noon to 4 p.m. today. Last I'd heard they still had some openings, but that was yesterday. So I have not heard today. So if you forgot and say, hey, I can donate blood there today, give Amy a call at the Historical Society, 575-915-4471, 575-915-4471, and see if there's any appointments left for today. Hopefully, and, you know, come on by. Try to get in on that because, and I'm telling you, this is something that the Historical Society, Amy hooks every donor. I mean, they do. Everybody, blood drives do great, but Amy goes and finds extra gifts and things to give to the people that donate blood there. So if you need an extra little incentive, saying, hey, she usually gives out free biscochitas sometimes or something like that. They're all real good. So it's always fun, little appreciative gifts. So if you need a little incentive, definitely want to do that. By the way, I got a bracelet from one of the young ladies at from Nancy Lopez last week, and I still got it. So I've been playing with it. Still enjoy it. Thank you very much for that. So, all right, it's closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts is keeping former President Trump's tax returns out of the hands of the Democrat-controlled House Ways and Means Committee, at least for the time being. Roberts has put a temporary hold on the handover of the tax returns, giving the high court some time to weigh legal issues involved in Mr. Trump's emergency appeal to the Supreme Court. Now, the committee wants the former president's tax returns for the years 2015 through 2020. Mr. Trump has characterized it as part of a Democrat political witch hunt. Their conditions range from non-life-threatening injuries to critical. 14 people injured last night's drive-by shooting in Chicago.
The age ranges for the victims are a 3-year-old, an 11-year-old, and we have reports of a 13-year-old, and everyone else is going to be adults.
Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown on ABC 7 Chicago. There have been no arrests, and there is nothing yet on a motive. Due in court today and facing a range of serious charges, the suspect in the hammer attack on the husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins says David DePape faces a long list of charges, including attempted murder and elder abuse. Jenkins says the defendant broke through a glass door, found Paul Pelosi asleep, and asked him about the whereabouts of Speaker Pelosi. He allegedly brought 2 hammers, zip ties, rope, and tape.
What is clear based on the evidence that we have thus far is that this House and the Speaker herself were specifically targets of the defendant.
The suspect also faces federal charges. I'm Norman Hall.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 193 points. The NASDAQ, 64 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
The owner of a Steinway piano that once belonged to the Wizard of Menlo Park says the inventor left an unusual signature on the instrument.
Robert Friedman of Woodstock, New York, bought Thomas Edison's Steinway grand piano for $45,000 in January 2021. Friedman says when a friend came over to tune the instrument, he noticed indentations on the piano and told him,
"Oh, those are Edison's bite marks."
Edison was hard of hearing, and he said he'd bite into an instrument's wood to feel the vibrations. Edison bought the piano in 1890, so it's possible it was used in his early experiments with sound recording. I'm Donna Warder.
For the 5th time since 2019, Israelis voting in national elections, hoping to break the political deadlock that's paralyzed the country for the past 3.5 years. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. A social media company experiences technical difficulties.
Instagram says it's working on an issue that left a seemingly large number of users locked out of their accounts. Some users reported seeing a message that they were locked out Monday but were still able to scroll through their feeds. Others posting on Twitter said they were completely shut out. Some reported that their number of followers dropped, presumably because those accounts were locked. It was unclear whether the problem was an internal issue or whether the social media site had been hacked. Keith Peters reporting.
Billionaire Elon Musk is already floating some big changes for Twitter as he begins his first week as owner of the social media platform. One proposal would make some users pay if they want to keep a blue check mark on their profile. Twitter has historically used the blue check mark to verify higher profile accounts, including the account of Elon Musk. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday.
Yes.
Welcome to it.
Second day of the rest of your life.
The first day of November.
Indeed.
Now we can officially think about Thanksgiving for a minute before you go right to Christmas.
Oh, yeah. I don't think about Thanksgiving for a while.
It's weird.
It's one of my favorite holidays. It is my favorite holiday of the whole year.
I love Thanksgiving. I hate Christmas, weirdly enough.
Really?
I do.
Well, now granted, Christmas isn't necessarily for our demo anymore, the older fella.
And that's not even that. I don't like the whole, people do so much harm to themselves and over Christmas. And it's, you know, if if it's just family hanging out, you know, celebrating the real reason for Christmas,
sure,
I'm cool with it. But people go to extremes just to try to make
Christmas happen.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's not worth it.
It's annoying to a point.
Yeah,
there is something to it. I mean, I really do enjoy the fact that I get to, make my kids happy, make them smile, and give them something that they look forward to.
Yeah,
I love the idea of coming together as a family. That's sort of morphed over the course of the last 3 years for me, as like my family has really become my friends group, and they're the ones I really want to spend my time with. Is like my kids and my friends, and so that's sort of become more of what the holidays and Christmas is to me. But honestly, this year's Thanksgiving, I'm most looking forward to because it's finally kind of a return. I haven't had Thanksgiving with my family in a lot of years.
Yeah.
So just kind of getting back home. And my family always goes all out traditional with the cooking on Thanksgiving. My sister's an astonishing cook, and my mom brings like all the weird stuff. Like my mom makes tabbouleh. I don't know if you ever had tabbouleh.
I don't think I have.
It's this like cold. It's I can't think how to describe it. It's like a dip
cold's
for bread.
the first adjective. I don't know if that's.
But it's all full of spices, and it's a Middle Eastern thing.
Okay, so do you use like pita bread to serve it or something? Or
yeah, usually it's like on pita bread. So it's kind of like a hummus kind of thing.
So is it kind of a baba ganoush type thing?
Kind of. Because
baba ganoush is delicious.
Yeah,
I had it at Sarah's the first time.
I haven't had their baba ganoush, but yeah, it's very similar to that, like chickpeas and
I loved it. Like that was one of my I tried several appetizers because it was the first time, and I'm like I'm gonna. And by far, my favorite of the bunch was the baba ganoush.
Yeah, the keblech was okay. The falafel's really good there.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried their baba ganoush. I have to try it. But
it's excellent.
But yeah, so my mom always does weird like stuff like that, or she'll do like she makes her own hummus is another one, so that's another big one. So there's a lot of different things at Thanksgiving. And the other one is my grandma Shirley, my dad's mom, made this phenomenal potato salad that nobody in my family can replicate except for my sister.
Interesting.
So she's the one who learned the recipe. My mom never was able to learn the recipe. My sister did, and she's got the family recipe for the potato salad. So it's the best. I look forward to
mayo or mustard based.
It's mayo based.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That might in.
I like a mustard based potato salad. But
I don't mind it. I way prefer mayo to mustard.
It's a mayo based, and it's very celery heavy.
Yeah,
which I love.
So you probably would like. See, I grew up with my mom, so I compare everything to that one, and most don't hit the mark. The closest I would come would be like a deviled egg potato salad or something like that with celery.
And it's a little less. I mean, there's eggs in it, but it's a little less eggy than most of the store-bought potato salads I get.
I like an eggy potato salad.
I like an eggy potato salad as long as the yolk isn't too chalky. The problem with like store-bought is a lot of times your yolk.
Well, it's got to be mixed in. Like you shouldn't have yellow yolk.
They hard boil the eggs when they're store-bought way too much, like way too hard.
No, that should be mixed in with the stuff. Like the only parts of the egg you should have that are chunk is the white. The yellow should be mixed in with the mayo and the other ingredients.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so that's sort of why I'm really looking forward to this year. Plus, the kids are really looking forward to seeing their cousins, and
good.
There's something built into this Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and that's why I probably love Thanksgiving because I love it. You know, at the end of the day, it's just hanging out, getting together. The food, I love turkey, but I could care less. Like if you're saying we're having spaghetti for dinner for I'm like, okay, cool,
I'm down.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever it is, I don't care.
Yeah, I've never been much for the whole traditional like turkey and whatever. Like I've already said this before on the show, I'm all about the sides. So you can serve whatever protein you want, but I'm all about the sides.
Something about homemade dark meat turkey with giblet gravy on it is delightful.
Sure,
and you don't ever get it except for like holidays. You know what I mean? So I do appreciate that because you don't. That's not a meal you eat, in the summer or anything other than a holiday.
I get one good solid piece of dark, swimming in gravy, and the rest of my plate's devoted to the green bean casserole, the potato salad, a good chunk of the cranberry sauce. Yep.
Yeah.
That's how I roll.
And deviled eggs.
And all the roll. And then just because the beauty of the plate is it only goes so far this way, but you can go as high as you want this way. So you stack up the rolls that way.
You do. And I always have a good 2 to 3 deviled eggs paired on the side. At least 2, sometimes 3.
Depending upon how they're made, yes.
Well, I usually make them when I'm eating them, so I'm down. Because usually I'm like Thanksgiving, that's like the one job they give me is here, you're in charge of deviled eggs.
Well, I love that you've worked in your deviled egg recipe into our sweepers for the for
like
106.5. I was listening. Well, here's the problem. The music for Travis and Sexton is a little bit too loud, and it kind of drowns out what the secret ingredient is, so I always miss what it is. So he's like, he said, come for the talk, stay for the deviled eggs.
I couldn't make you wait.
He's like, the secret ingredient is it hot sauce?
No.
Okay.
It's not. I should make y'all wait.
I mean,
I
sure.
will give you a hint.
Okay.
And now you got to be a knowing. Jimmy John's is featuring a new sub right now. One of the main ingredients on it is my secret ingredient.
Wow.
I've been seeing the commercial ad nauseum with the Jimmy John's, and they're promoting a new sandwich.
Apparently, he adds capicola to his deviled eggs.
And one of the condiments.
The secret's prosciutto. Just a lot of prosciutto. And I just shave meats in my
whiskey.
Whiskey. There it is. 3 deviled eggs in, you don't even know what you're tasting.
It don't matter
right.
what it tastes like, Yeah, I just take the egg and dump it in whiskey, let it sit there for a week, and say, here you go.
They're more pickled than deviled, but yeah, the devil's in there.
Well, it's pickled, but it's the devil when you eat it.
It's the devil's cut.
The devil's cut, exactly. Oh, man. All right, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. Is it weird I do kind of want a deviled egg right now?
I mean, I don't not want one.
Deviled egg, and you know what else would be good? And this is one of my favorites, too, and this is the leftover side.
Okay.
Is they'll make the pimento cheese with the celery sticks.
Ooh, yeah.
There's always leftover pimento cheese, leftover turkey, mayo, pimento cheese sandwich.
That's crazy. Pimento cheese on with something. See, I always just did pimento by itself. I've never put pimento with
putting on a sandwich during the holidays is one of my favorite things to do. Oh, it works well with ham too. By the way,
cheese,
ham or turkey, it's delightful. So.
These are all the wrong foods to be talking about around breakfast time.
But I hate Thanksgiving food.
Clearly.
Oh no! Pimento cheese on a sandwich. Oh,
it sounds delightful.
Yeah, and for you connoisseurs, a little stuffing on top of that with it. You're living large, my friend. Living large. All right, it is 9:14. Here's the rundown. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. Lori Schatz will join us in just a few, talking Kiwanis Club. Give us an update on what's going on there. Later on this hour, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, along with political ads, because we got a good smattering of those for you as well, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. It is 9:15. Let's get you up to date with the weather as you rummage through your refrigerator looking for something to make a sandwich with. Or deviled eggs.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Tranquil weather pattern in place for today. We have abundant sunshine coming in for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. Touch of a breeze from the south and southeast. And our highs are up close to 75. Scattered cloudiness through the night and our low for the mid to upper 40s. And partly to mostly sunny for tomorrow with highs upper 70s. We'll be in the upper 70s to near 80 by Thursday with lots of sun and increasing winds. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently 51 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity at 66%. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny today, mid-70s, 74 officially our high today with south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight. Expect an overnight low of 48 degrees. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly cloudy, 77 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night with an overnight low of 50. South winds 5 to 10. Thursday, warmer, but breezy. Mostly sunny, 77 for a high. Winds will be out of the south early, 5 to 10. 15 to 20 for the afternoon on Thursday. And that's bringing in rain chances and cooler temps for Friday. We do have a 20% chance of showers Friday. Mostly sunny, 61 the high. 30% chance for Friday night. And then the weekend, Saturday, sunny, 68, sunny, and 75 on Sunday. And then when you head back Monday, mid-70s, pushing 80 again. So welcome to New Mexico. You don't like the weather? Just wait. It'll change. It is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute break. And then Lori Schatz with Kiwanis Club of Roswell will join us here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
This is a call to action. I'm Michelle Garcia Holmes, and I'm running for United States Congress. There's so much at stake this election cycle. The life of the unborn, your safety, the cost of living, and most of all, our religious freedom. I'm calling on every Christian from every church to step out of the pews and go to the polls and cast your vote. I ask for your vote. Send a woman of faith to Washington that will protect and stand strong for our values.
Paid for by Garcia Holmes for Congress.
Uplift New Mexico's economy and its colleges and universities by voting for Go Bond 3. Without raising your tax rates, Bond 3 will create 2,000 new jobs in 22 cities. Bond 3 will fund upgrades and improvements and advance education in healthcare, arts, technology, and trades. This fall, invest in our future. Vote for the bond that creates jobs and economic development. Visit bond3fornm.com. Paid for by the Go Bonds for Education Committee. Dr. Stephen Gamble and Ronnie Birdsong co-chairs.
Think your vote doesn't matter? Think about this. Michelle Lujan Grisham and progressives in Santa Fe forced thousands of small family businesses to close, many to never open again. They forced our children to stay away from schools, setting their educations back by months or perhaps years. They forced you to stand in lines outside grocery stores during the coldest months of the year. They violated their own mandates while threatening to use state police to enforce their mandates on the rest of us. And Lujan Grisham and her friends did it all while New Mexico ranked last in the nation on education, last in economic opportunity, and last in public safety. Still think your vote doesn't matter? Think again. Don't make excuses like the Democrats in Santa Fe. Go vote Republican on Tuesday, November 8th. Paid for by the Republican Party of Chaves County. Not paid or authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Hello, we are Nevaeh and Sophia, student leaders from Nancy Lopez Elementary School. We invite the families of Nancy Lopez to our Family Literacy Night on Tuesday, November 1st from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Learn about our new Core Knowledge Language Arts program and join our teachers for fun literacy games. You will have a chance to win books and reading games, plus pizza slices from Dion's Pizza. Keep reading.
This is Larry Marker, independent write-in candidate for Commissioner of Public Lands. Together, we can take back our public lands while preserving the integrity of your vote. It's easy to vote for Larry Marker. On your ballot, go to the space provided for declared write-in candidate. It's under the heading Commissioner of Public Lands. Mark the oval and write in Larry Marker. Together, we can take back our public lands and preserve the integrity of your vote. Go to LarryMarker.com for more information. Thank you.
Larry Marker, independent write-in candidate for Commissioner of Public Lands. Paid for by the Friends of Larry Marker.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, wearing her Kiwanis Club of Roswell hat this morning, Lori Schatz with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry.
How are you today?
I didn't get ready for the interview.
That's all right.
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. I would imagine, because you live out in the country.
Yeah, I know.
You probably didn't see many trick-or-treaters coming your way.
No, I did not. But I do carpool, and that gal said that she didn't have any either. But then I was listening to your sister radio station, and the chamber gal, Jessica, said that she had a lot. So
Really?
I guess it just depends if you're in that pocket of families that are in that age group that's
going
to go out and do it.
Yeah.
And there's so much trunk or treat and so much safer that way, maybe.
Sure.
Parents.
Absolutely, yeah.
I will tell you, though, big news in my world and my family was my niece was pregnant with the second, supposed to be induced on the 2nd of November, and had her yesterday.
Oh, so a Halloween baby.
Halloween baby.
Just like my wife. Her birthday's a Halloween
I
as
heard
well,
you talking about that, too.
Yeah,
so we have another Halloween baby.
Well, in a couple years, she's going to think everyone is getting candy for her birthday.
For her birthday. Isn't that nice
what my
that
wife,
she does that?
My wife thought that when she was a kid. It's like, it's nice everyone's getting candy for my birthday.
So welcome to the world, Haley Ferguson.
Well, that's a good treat for Halloween. So,
yes,
absolutely. Well, in case folks haven't heard, one of the Kiwanis Club of Roswell, their big project they've been working on with the city here is this all-inclusive park. And so everything they've been kind of doing is fundraising towards that over the last really 2 years here.
Yes, sir.
So I imagine you guys are still in that trying to get, I know they've got plans and things, and I know.
This is actually our third year. We're going into our fourth year of fundraising for it because of COVID.
Yeah.
And of course, you can't count that year because we didn't feel we could ask anyone to help us during that year. So and then slowly coming out of it. I mean, everyone thought when we were done with it, everyone would rush out and be able to, and that hasn't been the case. And then of course the economy. So yeah, we're still in the trenches.
We're hitting walls, but they're going to bust through the walls, and this all-inclusive park is happening. A little longer than anticipated initially, but it will still happen. There is obviously the Kiwanis Club is a strong commitment to make this happen, and I'm sure there's people in the city as well equally committed. And so it's just a matter of getting the logistics to line up, the supply and demand, the world. But in the meantime, we're keeping to raise money because we know the longer you wait, construction costs don't get cheaper. It's just not how it works.
Especially this day and age, right?
So we want to keep in that mind to help out and things, and we'll tell you different ways you can get involved here.
That's
in a minute.
right.
But if you're interested in becoming a Kiwanian, they focus on kids. That's their main mission statement is a service organization focusing on kids. They're in the schools.
It's changing the world one child and one community at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. So
you want to be part of community as well.
So if you kind of feel like that's something you kind of line up with and something you'd like to get behind, then we invite you to come out to the next Kiwanians meeting.
Which is today at noon at Cerritos. And the first time you come, we do pay for your lunch. So you might want to come out for a free lunch and see what we're all about today.
Yep. Go down and pick something with steak on it.
Mike, I'm going to send you the bill now.
Nah, let's get a burger. But they got great food. So if nothing else, you're going to have a good lunch.
That's right. That's right.
But so today at what time again?
At noon.
At high noon.
At Cerritos.
At Cerritos Restaurant right here on North Main. So.
And we just changed presidents. It was Barbara Gomez, and now it's Ron Lethko is our new incoming. I shouldn't say incoming. He did last month. That was his first month. So this is the second month.
Current president.
He's the current president.
Good deal. So who's because I know you guys select a year in advance the next president and all that too, right?
Yes.
So who's your elect?
Gary.
Okay. So Gary will be taking the reins here. Is it a year or 2 years?
Yeah, he won't take the reins until October of next year.
Okay, so
almost
a full year as president. Okay.
But he comes to board meetings now to get ready to
they get him
be
ready,
the president.
And generally, they don't make the president just the new person that shows up. Generally, it's
and they only serve 1 year, where directors serve 3.
Gotcha.
I think treasurers and secretaries also serve 3.
Gotcha.
So that's the one position.
And then do the past presidents serve a year as kind of an emeritus type deal?
Well, right, and to guide the new
Barbara's
president.
not going anywhere. She's just not
and Barbara was
anymore.
president 2 years in a row.
Okay. So that means she got to do 2 years of emeritus?
In 2016. That's what I think too. And she was a president in 2016 as well. So,
okay.
And that's the same with Ron. I think he was president. I'm not going to guess. Many years ago, he was president.
So he's got experience.
And Gary has not been, I don't believe, but he's been like everything but.
Well, he's going to have a year of education on
right.
it.
Right.
What he doesn't know, he'll learn in the next year here. But the Kiwanis Club's going strong, and of course, we'd love to come out today. Come out for lunch today. Come and usually they have a great guest speaker, and then and then of course discussing whatever your plans they got for upcoming events and things like that. So,
right.
So what do you got coming up here that we want to put on people's radar?
So we've been, lack of better words, nickel and diming the fundraising. We have letters out there as well if you just want to be a sponsor, and we are obviously partners with the Autism of New Mexico.
Okay. Is it Autism Speaks or Autism Society?
Society, I believe.
Okay.
Then their national
I know there's a couple
came out
different organizations,
not the fundraiser, not the groundbreaking, but we were shown the site. It was called the Celebration of the Site.
Okay.
And he was there for that. And then you have several people here in town that are involved with the state organization. So we don't want to leave them out because our focus is going to be on autism, but it's for all children, whether disabled, not
That's
disabled.
The whole point.
Anything, wheelchairs,
if you're a kid,
attention deficit, that's fine. It doesn't matter. We want all kids to be able to play together and learn from each other.
That's the all-inclusive park. It's if you're a kid with 0 disabilities or issues, you're going to be able to enjoy the park. But if there are kids that are on the spectrum or having other handicaps or things like
disabilities.
that. Disabilities. Thank you. That's the term I was trying to find. They equally get to enjoy it. It's
Yes.
not like, okay, well, there's this one thing at the park you can play with, but the rest you really can't. This is,
Right.
hey, when you're done over here, go run over here and play on this piece of equipment. And that's just it. The kids, doesn't matter on the spectrum, they can all enjoy it. And then the idea is, you know what? You can make more friends, and these kids, you know what I'm saying? That's
right.
This is
They
how
socialize
it's not just the fun part of getting to the ability to play on the toys and the different things.
Yeah, playing is more than, I mean, you get more out of playing than just enjoyment.
Yeah, but
there's a
it's
lot of
that
education
socialization
and learning and making
that.
new friends
Absolutely.
and getting connections and confidence.
Not to mention,
all those
I
things.
would imagine, knowing, Sean and, other people that have children on the spectrum, there's a lot of trial and error going on there, especially as they're
Yes.
getting younger and they're trying to find out what things they like, they don't like. And so this is very good for that, too, to maybe even broaden their horizons.
Right.
I mean, obviously, each person on the spectrum is different, but tendencies are that, they kind of find wheelhouses, and that's what they want, and no other and anything else. And so
And this is the only one that we know of in southeast New Mexico at this point.
This will
So
be
there is one in Rio Rancho.
Oh, good. Okay.
But there is not one anywhere else. So we have had calls, at least Ron has told us, from places that they're like Hobbs and different places. When is this going to be available? When can we bring our kids?
The demand's there.
It's going to bring people to Roswell as well.
I would guess at some point, children's playgrounds will evolve into these more all-inclusive playgrounds. Like this is where the technology's headed.
Right.
That's
right. Exactly.
like in theory, when we're all sitting on the porch and trying to find our teeth, those grandkids will be the ones playing, and there'll be hopefully one of these parks in every neighborhood.
But I mean, remember our swings were metal and our and then it would be hot out and
then
slide and you'd stick
and then you fly into the rocks.
Right. And we liked it. No, I'm just
and the slide was 8,000 degrees even in the springtime. I mean like the most famous slide in Roswell, the rocket slide that was at the Spring River Zoo for many years, and now they've repurposed it into an art thing. We all love that slide, but we all know how many of us as kids. Yeah, I got good second-degree burns on that thing. I got. All of us have fond memories, but all of us have that memory too of like, yeah, I had to get aloe all over my legs because I burned it going down that slide.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah.
So we are doing one more big push for the park, and it will be December 3rd in the evening.
Okay.
This is a little different than anything we've ever done before.
Okay.
As in, it will be at the Anderson Museum.
Beautiful location.
It will be on the grand piano.
Nice.
And it's going to be
We're
a
getting
tribute.
a little fancy on this one.
Yeah.
A little bit. Little.
Yeah. A tribute to Carole King. And it's called Home Again, and she'll sing all the things from Tapestries.
Okay.
It's funny, when I mention Carole King, people are like, yeah, I know the name, but what did she do? And it's like, You've Got a Friend? Oh, that's James Taylor. Yeah, she wrote it.
Yeah.
And I can't. Oh,
That's where the money is. The writing, by the way.
Oh, right, right. So she wrote a lot of James Taylor's, and you can hear it in his music.
So she
That's
got what
her.
Carly Simon didn't.
Yeah, yes. So it was going to be on December 3rd in the evening. The concert itself will start at 7.
Okay.
The doors will open at 6 because there are going to be heavy, high-end hors d'oeuvres.
Okay.
And you will get a glass of champagne or non-alcoholic champagne.
Okay.
As you come in, so you can stroll and look at the artwork.
Please do,
first.
because that's half the fun is seeing
Right.
all the beautiful exhibits at the Anderson. And what I love about it, I don't care what you're into, there's probably something you're going to like.
Something for
because
everybody.
It goes from conservative art to way out there, and and it's somewhere in between. It's just there's a little
It's
bit of
great.
everything. Yeah.
So then from there, there will also be a cash bar, and we have 13, I believe, tables to sell.
Okay.
They are $1,200 a piece, and that includes your hors d'oeuvres, your champagne, a UC 8. We've already sold 6 tables.
Good.
So we are just now starting to sell tables.
Okay.
So that's why
And we got
this is my first time on.
Just a hair under a month away to get
Yep.
it done. So.
And we also are selling single seats, and that's $150.
Okay.
All of the proceeds go towards the park.
Great.
We're really close to meeting our goal, so we're hoping this will
This will push it over.
One fell swoop, push it over.
We're hoping to stop asking for money.
Exactly. You don't want to hear about this anymore, people.
For this project.
So buy a ticket.
I need to put the caveat for this project.
And it is going to be catered by Peppers.
Awesome.
So make sure
food's
you know
going to be
that.
delicious.
Yep. And she is really well known in the tribute world. You can go on and YouTube her. It's Deb DeLuca is her name. She looks like Carole King. She plays the grand piano and she sings her stuff.
And then here's
so it's
the
a
part-
one-woman show. It's really awesome.
And what I love about this, because the Anderson, that's an intimate place. It's
Yes.
not like an arena or something. So you're going to be sitting in a room with this talented legend feet from you. And I would imagine the songs are going to be the entertainment, but the stories in between are going to be the real entertainment. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yes, the music's going to be beautiful and love it, but when you start hearing, since this lady wrote these songs, there's going to be a lot of inside baseball that she probably shares with the audience that you would not normally get or find or see on the internet even.
Right.
So
It's Too Late. That's another one of
her
her big hits. That I was like, I just heard it this morning on the radio. What was it? So It's Too Late was also a Carole King. So the one thing that we are not advertising in print, and I'm only going to say this once today,
Okay.
is that we do have $45 tickets that do not include the hors d'oeuvres or the champagne.
Just a show ticket.
You come in at 7 o'clock as we're just introducing her, and you just have a seat.
Okay.
That is all you're purchasing. It's $45.
You don't want to do all the food.
And you must call
Okay.
575-513-8119.
Okay.
So I'm not going to mention it again, and I don't know if we'll mention it on another show or not.
Okay.
But
they're
I just
first
wanted
come,
to let
first
you
serve
know.
on that,
Yeah,
too.
I already have a list of people that are interested in those.
Okay.
They're close to being sold out, so that's it. That's the only
Okay.
thing. What I'm going to do, the only push I'm going to do on that,
Sure.
because we really want you to come and experience the whole
Absolutely,
evening
yeah.
at $150 a
Well,
seat, or
it is the
to buy a
best-
table at $1,200.
It is the best way to experience the event. And let's face it, the whole point of this event is to raise money for this all-inclusive park.
Right.
So we want you to overpay for everything just for a reason.
What? Yeah. Actually, I stole the idea from another great group here in town. So thank you for the idea. I got to go to their
come
event.
And see if come buy tickets and see if she did it right.
Yeah, exactly. Critique it. That's fine.
But yeah, in all seriousness, yes, it's going to be a fun night. Come and,
What a great way to kick off your holidays.
Yeah.
Or maybe have this as a holiday gift for someone.
I think it's going to be a
and
beautiful
bring
date
your
night
family.
for someone, yeah. Especially if they're, a James Taylor fan or kind of a fan of that era of music. They're really going to appreciate an intimate evening with the woman that wrote these songs.
Right.
And hearing the songs, but hearing maybe some little, that to me, because that's, I think anybody that listens to this show long enough to know I'm a nugget information guy. I love that kind of stuff.
And that's been all of our tributes that we've had thus far.
Yeah.
And just a shout out to Roswell Little Theater. I will be back over there with other things.
A great group of people working hard over there.
Right. But we needed a grand piano.
They got an improv night coming up November 4th,
I know.
by the way.
I mean,
Yeah.
Alethea's always saying,
This
why don't
Friday.
you join the improv group?
Yeah, that's
And that's the one thing I don't think I do well is improv. So I'm like, I'm not so sure I
Not
want
my
to put
strength.
myself out there with that. But
November 4th, Friday night, come out and support them. That's their next improv night this Friday. So and there's no
Awesome.
football in town, so you got no excuse.
right. That is true. I know it trumps it in my town. So.
Yeah, and it's almost as bad here. Not quite Artesia level,
Not
but
quite. So that is what's going on. And like we talked before, Kiwanis is doing this one last big push fundraiser for the all-inclusive park. We are still going to have in the spring a golf ball drop. We did it last year. It was super successful.
Yeah, it's fun.
So that will be, our general funds are kind of getting depleted. And then we want to be able to get back into the nitty-gritty and start supporting not only monetarily, but with our volunteers to come out for your event to support. I know that Alzheimer's Walk was last weekend, and so we were there.
Yeah.
They
had a great turnout, a great event, but by the way, I'm glad everyone that came out, big thank you to them for that.
Oh, absolutely. So that was something that we did do, but we've been so consumed with this for the past almost 4 years.
Yeah, this has been your main focus.
Yeah, that this is the last ta-da. So please come out and help us and support this event. So it really can be our last ta-da.
Yeah.
And then we can go back into coming out to plant the flowers and, just different things that we used to do.
Garden variety Kiwanian stuff.
Yeah. We have not, other service groups have asked us about the All Civic Luncheon.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you it is in the works.
Okay.
It has to do with the finish of the park.
Okay.
So there are some biting at the bit trying to be like, well, maybe we could do one. And it's like, no, our event, we're still going to do it.
We still got dibs on it.
We just are trying to make it all one thing.
They licked their fingers and put it on there and said dibs.
So yes, that is still in the works, and we still will be doing one.
Okay.
What we're being told by the city, the last that we heard was that the park will at least be started or in really good shape by spring.
Oh, good.
So we're hoping that is true.
Yeah.
And then we can move forward with that.
Maybe we'll be doing a ribbon cutting.
We might be doing a ribbon cutting.
Late spring next year.
That's right. Maybe. Could be. So
knocking on wood.
That is true. Gunk, gunk. So again, make sure you come out to the Anderson, December 3rd.
Yes.
The concert itself will start at 7:15. It will run till about 9 o'clock. We will keep the cash bar open for intermission and also the food.
What time do they want to be there for the food and all that?
6 o'clock, the doors open.
So
you have an hour to eat
mingle and see
eat
the
your
museum.
heavy hors d'oeuvres and mingle and have a drink and see where you're seated. And again, it's all going to be very intimate. As you know, that room is very intimate with only 13 tables that will be in there.
And I would encourage you to get there early. Like doors open at 6. Mm-hmm. There's enough going on that you'll be entertained from 6 until 7:15 when the concert starts.
Absolutely.
You could spend that time alone just touring the museum.
Oh, yeah.
Just by yourself doing that. So I get it. If you don't get off work and you can't make it till 6:30, awesome. Love to have you. But if you can be there at 6, and especially if you've never toured the museum.
Right.
Like if you've never walked through and seen some of the art in the museum there, shame on you. And then come on out. And then there at 6 to go walk around before.
And this is a Saturday, just so that you know.
So you got the.
I know a lot of times we do things on weekdays, but we were able to get her on a weekend, so we thought that might be a good way to kick off the holiday season.
I agree. Yeah.
So, and today is at noon at Cerritos. If you're interested in joining us, we're always looking for people. Of course, again, we're going to blame the pandemic here because that's what everyone does with COVID. We've lost some members. Because of not being able to meet, different things.
Life happens.
Right.
People
Life goes on.
Bigger
and
priorities at
usually
the moment.
we were able to, we lose some, we gain some as we go. But it's been, we only meet twice a month now, the first and third Tuesdays of the month at Cerritos.
Not weekly.
Not weekly. It used to be weekly. Mm-hmm. So come out today, and then in 2 weeks, we will be at, it's called the Hermosa Church of Christ in Artesia. What is it here? Country Club Church
Country
of
Club Road Church of Christ.
Yes,
Thank you.
and we'll be celebrating Thanksgiving. So if you want to come out for Thanksgiving, you can come there at noon.
Nice.
In 2 weeks. So
some pretty good food over there sometimes.
And
when they do their dinners and things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so good deal.
Yeah, we invite our Key Club kids. We have a high school program here, and we also have a college program that, let me tell you, those kids are going strong. They're doing a fundraiser right now where if you have old tennis shoes, and it could be, something you've used. They could be in good or bad condition. Does not matter. Donate it to them. It's called Got Sneakers, and you can give it to a Kiwanian or to. It's called Circle K Kids. They're in college, and that's a fundraiser that they're doing. They just put them. They provide the bag. They fill it with the tennis shoes. The kids do, and then they get a check back. Those that are in really bad condition, at least we're keeping them out of landfills. Sure. The others, depending on the condition, the organization decides how much money they're going to give you for each pair and cut you a check.
I feel like if you find some artist types, they'll take those old sneakers off your hands and make some kind of recycled art out of them.
Right. So that's a fundraiser that Circle K is doing. They're always doing a fundraiser, so you might want to jump on Facebook and find them. They're out at ENMU.
Awesome.
We're super happy that they are part of our group, and they usually join us on Tuesdays as well. So you can meet some of the. And I believe that they're all women. That's just a fluke. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but that's what this year is.
Showed up that way. Yeah.
So, and they also do bring what you can, take what you need.
Oh, gotcha.
Which at the United Methodist, United Methodist has a little pantry thing there.
That was
so
a godsend
during
the pandemic, and a lot of people popped up some of those during that time too. And Yeah, First United's been doing theirs for years. Matter of fact, the college, ENMUR, just started one for their students.
Yeah, just started a food pantry.
Yeah,
yes.
just like a week ago here.
Right.
So they've got that for their students.
And I'll tell you, United Methodist moved there. So
yeah, I think it's on the other side.
It's
now.
next to the building now instead of out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Because I went out in the parking lot because I had things to give, and I'm like, where did it go? And from my office, I looked down and went, oh, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
I went back out.
Yeah,
so just let everyone know. You look around. If you're used to it in one place, it's still there. You just have to find it.
Speaking of possible future, we were talking earlier about things. One of the things Kiwanians are known for here in Roswell, are pancakes ever in the future again?
Yes, they are.
Okay, good.
We talked about it yesterday, the president and I, and it's a new era, and we need to rethink how it's going to be done.
Okay. As long as you have Neighbor making Mickey Mouse pancakes, should be just fine.
He's making the turkey for Thanksgiving.
Is he?
Yes. So that could be. With that being said, I will switch hats just really quickly, and this is going to maybe take you off guard a little bit. I'm also an Altrusian in Artesia. So we did do an all-civic luncheon last Saturday.
Great.
And I would like to say that the Downtown Lions of Artesia, Ken Murphy, was the all-civic winner of that group.
Well,
and then we have
to
Tammy Rinkin, who is in Duskin Derrick.
Okay.
She won for her group, and for Altrusa, it was Barbara, who puts together what we call the smorgasbord.
Yes.
But it's no longer talking about rethinking. This is what made me think of it. So the smorgasbord was always exactly what it was.
A tradition,
said.
yeah. You go.
Well, now we do enchiladas, and it's all drive-through.
Okay.
So less labor.
Sure.
Same price.
I imagine COVID
same quality.
forced y'all to kind of alter your plans, and it just worked.
We did that for COVID, and it worked, and that's just where there's no come in and sit down anymore. So that's the kind of thing with a pancake breakfast. We need to rethink what is really going to work. You know, is a convention center a must? Is
maybe the
do we have a
or
sit down?
Yeah.
Do we have just a drive through? Do we do the pancakes, the sausage, and everything we've always done, or is it just a pancake? 3 or 4 pancakes and a sausage. Like how exactly?
How do you pull it off?
Do we do that? Is this a community event or is this a fundraiser?
Okay.
So those are all questions, and as you know, food cost has gone up.
Sure.
So. Hence, that may be something we have to talk about. But yes,
whatever
it is
form
in the
you guys
future,
bring it back, I'm sure the public, because I know that's just one of those events that everyone loves.
And you do, Kiwanians doing it all over the United States.
Yeah.
So I was in Indiana as a Kiwanian. That's where I started.
Yeah.
And we did a pancake breakfast
kind
there.
of a tradition.
And it was different there than it is here.
Sure.
So, and that's great.
Yeah.
That, you have different facets of it, but we're known for it.
I think it ebb and flows over generations, because I remember like pancake breakfasts are more popular, but like when I was a kid, it seemed like more organizations were doing spaghetti dinners.
Right.
Like
that
was the big thing, spaghetti dinners.
Yeah.
And so on a Thursday night, you go to like an Elks Lodge or something, do spaghetti dinners, kind of thing. So I feel like pancakes kind of turned into this era's version of spaghetti dinner. Of course, I grew up in Maryland, so we also, because people are crab eaters there. It's like green chili here, but crabs there.
Right.
And so they would have, when you weren't doing spaghetti dinners, they're doing crab fests during the summer.
Right. Well, I grew up in the Catholic Church that was predominantly Italian, so spaghetti dinners was always the fundraiser
that was
there.
Just part of the deal.
In Cleveland, so
well, it's because it's good and cheap, and you can feed a lot of people with it.
Inexpensive.
Yeah, that's right.
Not cheap.
Marketing.
That's right.
But again, if anybody has any questions about anything, you can always look for the Kiwanis Club of Roswell Facebook page.
Yes.
And you can shoot messages or questions. I'd encourage you to like and follow it to stay up to date on what's going on. And of course, like we said, the next Kiwanian meeting is today at noon at Cerritos. You don't have to get on Facebook to ask questions. Just come to the meeting at noon today.
Right.
And come learn about Kiwanians and learn and see if this is something that you'd like to be a part of.
I always say to a bunch of people, like, what is a civic group? I'm like, a bunch of do-gooders.
That's right.
So if you want to be a do-gooder, come out to Kiwanis.
Come and be. This is, when they always say things like it takes a village and all that, this is what we talk about. Groups like our Kiwanians, and there's other great organizations.
And you're really lucky that here there's so many civic groups.
And they all, for the most part, kind of work in concert and things.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
it's all great. And,
Absolutely.
And so, and by all means, if you come to Kiwanis Day and you're like, that's scheduled, then by all means, go visit one of our other great civic organizations.
There are breakfast clubs. Yeah. There are evening clubs. There are clubs that don't eat when they meet.
The non-eating clubs.
What's the point of that?
All right.
So
there's only like 2 people in those clubs because people want to eat.
There's Altrusa here.
Yeah.
And a little not well-known fact is that Altrusa was started by a Kiwanian. So that's
there is
my tie.
There is a bit of a kinship there.
Yes, because in 1989, that's when women were first admitted into Kiwanis, were allowed to be members. Okay. 1989.
That's late.
Oh, yeah.
That's very late.
So earlier on in, I'm going to say the 40s, and it might have been the 30s, and I just did what they called the yearbook. I should know. But a doctor went and got one of the ladies. He wanted them to be part of Kiwanis. Kiwanis said no. So then Mimi and he got together and came up with Altrusa.
Altrusa.
Which
cool.
started off as a business, more of a business networking for women.
Okay.
And has turned into
your LinkedIn
do-gooders.
Your LinkedIn of social club.
Exactly. I liked it. And now we're a bunch of do-gooders.
There you go. Now you're Facebook like the rest of us. Or Twitter or whatever your favorite one is. Very good. But then, again, noon today at Cerritos. And don't forget, December 3rd. Is the event at the Anderson
called
Museum.
Home Again, a tribute to Carole King by Deb DeLuca. And you can find out more information, buy tickets, or get a table at 575-513-8119. You can also call that number if you just want to make a donation to the all-inclusive park.
Absolutely.
And I will send you to the correct place.
Absolutely. Again, one more time on the phone number.
It is 575-513-8119. Kiwanis and the Autism of New Mexico partnering at the Anderson to do Home Again, a tribute to Carole King by Deb DeLuca.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun night. If you love the music of that era, you're going to have a fan that's going to want to.
If you like the album Tapestries, you're going to really love the concert.
Or shoot, even if you're a Taylor fan, come
James
and enjoy.
Taylor.
Did I say John? I meant James. Sorry.
That's okay.
James Taylor.
John, James. They're both in the Bible, so they must be good names.
My brain was ahead of my mouth. That's what happened. And come be a part and just like I said, come out to lunch today and learn more about everything and let's hopefully by say late spring next year we've got a playground and we got kids enjoying it and every kid from every walk of life can come and have a fun time there. So very good. As always, appreciate the visit, Lori. We'll see you here next time, and obviously we're going to get you back in as we get a little closer to this event here in December to remind people. Hopefully, would be a good problem is you sold all the tickets and then you come back. You can come back, but I got nothing to sell you because all the tickets are gone.
I'm sure I have something else to sell you.
But hopefully you have that problem.
Right. I'm hoping.
Awesome. Thanks, Lori. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Mike.
It is 9:49. Let's pause for some news. Hannity update, your Wall Street business update, and a couple political ads and a couple. There's 3 ads, 2 of them political. Sorry about that. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. We have a traffic alert for you. First, drivers on Main Street between College Boulevard and McGaffey Street in Roswell will experience some lane closures beginning Wednesday. But traffic will continue to flow through the work zone during an estimated 5-week pavement maintenance project. The project will be done in 3 phases, College Boulevard to 6th Street, and then 6th Street to Alameda, and Alameda to McGaffey. Work will be performed on the northbound and southbound lanes to include the turning lanes during each segment. Also in Roswell, an upcoming public meeting on November 7th at the Roswell Convention Center. The purpose of the meeting will be to discuss the old Yucca Recreation Center site at 500 South Richardson Avenue. The city says it's looking for community input on the facility, which was closed in 2016 and torn down 2 years later. City staff will be on hand to answer questions and seek input on the best course of action for the land. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
You can't get over the failure of their record. What was GDP? What was the inflation number when Donald Trump left office? It was 1.4%. And then it was transitory, 8.5%, a 40-year record. Now we're headed into month 10, 40-year record, 40-year record, 40-year record. You know, at one point, we have zero inflation. They just make it up. That's their record. They're the ones that decided to abandon energy independence. For some cockamamie reason, Democrats have decided that domestic energy production is bad, but importing oil from Iran, that's fine. Russia, fine. Venezuela, fine. OPEC, fine. But not here.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Hey, it's Linda, and if you're like me, you're trying to do as much as you can to put every dollar you can away when the economy, gas prices, mortgage rates, the cost of food, back-to-school supplies, you name it, it's going up. And with inflation, rate hikes, everything, gas prices, everything is still out of control. And when inflation rises, your money doesn't go very far. So Goldco is the company that Sean and I have been recommending for gold and silver, and they've helped thousands of people place over $1 billion in precious metals. So what we're asking you to do is to call 855-815-GOLD, get a free gold kit, and learn how you could get $10,000 or more in free silver to protect your retirement savings. So you just call 855-815-GOLD, 855-815-GOLD to figure out how to protect your money, how to do better with your retirement, and how you can still put food on the table and pay for those school supplies and make more with your money.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Tranquil weather pattern in place for today. We have abundant sunshine coming in for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. A touch of a breeze from the south and southeast. And our highs are up close to 75. Scattered cloudiness through the night and our low for the mid to upper 40s. And partly to mostly sunny for tomorrow with highs upper 70s. We'll be in the upper 70s to near 80 by Thursday with lots of sun and increasing winds. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. It was a higher open for Wall Street on this first day of the month as the Fed kicks off its two-day policy meeting. When it's over, the central bank expected to announce another significant interest rate hike aimed at combating inflation. A shortage of computer chips dinged Toyota's bottom line in the third quarter. The Japanese-based automaker says profits tumbled 31%, the third quarter profit totaling $2.9 billion. Shares of Uber are surging after the ride-hailing company issued a fourth quarter forecast indicating that consumers are growing increasingly more comfortable using the service now that pandemic fears have largely eased. Johnson & Johnson plans to spend $16.6 billion to buy cardiovascular technology company Abiomed to strengthen its medical device division. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here, and I can tell you it's not always easy being a female in a male-dominated business like roofing. I remember one time I was at a meeting to bid on the roof for a local college, and it was me and 13 men. Well, I won that bid, and I'd like to win your business too. My dad was a contractor, and I've been around building and roofing my whole life. I'm licensed and bonded, and I've forgotten more about roofing than most roofers ever knew in the first place. But what really sets Trustmark apart is an obsessive attention to detail that ensures that everything goes smoothly the first time. I promise we will treat you right with respect and we will make you happy. So yeah, it might be a bit odd for a woman to own a roofing company, but give us a try. Let us give you an estimate for your roof. I think you'll be glad you called. For all your roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Hello, I'm Tara Mitcha, State Director for the National Rifle Association, letting you know that the NRA Political Victory Fund endorses State Representative Greg Nybert for re-election in House District 59. Greg has worked relentlessly to support our Second Amendment rights and to oppose legislation that restricts law-abiding gun owners. Progressive politicians in Santa Fe have an agenda that would erode our right to protect our families, our homes, and ourselves. Greg Nybert will vigorously oppose those who want to tread on our right to keep and bear arms and our precious liberty and freedom. He is a true friend of the Second Amendment and of our sporting heritage in New Mexico. Vote Greg Nybert, representative for House District 59.
I'm Greg Nybert, and I ask you to please vote for me for House District 59. Voting begins on October 11th, and Election Day is November 8th.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Representative. Richard Taylor, Treasurer.
Hi, I'm New Mexico's 5th District Division I Judge, Eileen Reardon. This district covers Chavez, Lee, and Eddy counties. I want to thank all my supporters who believe in me and who have or will vote for me. I have integrity, honesty, and have consistently, to the best of my abilities, performed my judicial duties, and I want to continue as your 5th District Judge. As a voter, it's your privilege to go vote. You can vote early until November 5th or on Election Day, November 8th. Show your support by voting. I'm 5th District Judge Eileen Reardon, and I thank you.
Paid for by the Committee-elect Judge Reardon, Steve McCutcheon, Treasurer.
I'm Judge Reardon, and I approve this message.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
Probably. I'm a guy, I know it's probably. Good morning, it is 9:57. If you missed any part of our show, you can check it out at your leisure. I invite you to do that. Log on to ksvptv.com, click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find all of our interviews there. Right after the show here, Tanner will separate today's interviews and pop them up. Look for them here in the next hour or so. But we had Robert Sherman join us in the 7 o'clock hour with the Walker Aviation Museum. He gave us an update there, talked a little history with him. And in the 8 o'clock hour, we replayed our interview. We had the students from Nancy Lopez Elementary, some of the student council, made up of 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. And they came on to promote their reading literacy night, which is happening at Nancy Lopez tonight, beginning at 6 p.m. Dion's Pizza is kind enough to provide pizzas for the event, so free pizza while supplies last. And come out, and if you're parents and students of Nancy Lopez, they'd love to have you come out tonight beginning at 6. And then, of course, just a few minutes ago, we had Lori Schatz with the Kiwanis Club of Roswell join us just a few minutes ago, talking about their big event at the Anderson Museum on December 3rd, fundraising event for the all-inclusive, hopefully the last push final fundraising event for Kiwanis Club of Roswell and that all-inclusive park that they're in the final stages of getting ready to start building that thing. It's been a long time coming with COVID and everything else, so there's a lot of people anxious to get that thing going. But last push for that on December the 3rd. And of course, if you don't want to go to KSVP TV, you can always also check out our videos on our YouTube channel. If you look for Roswell's Talk FM on YouTube, it'll pop right up and you can find it there. Or if you don't mind digging on our wall on Facebook, we have our Roswell's Talk FM Facebook page. And you can just go to our wall there and scroll down and find all of our interviews, amongst all the other things we share and post up on Facebook as well. So any of those ways, you can get back to our interviews and all that good stuff. So that's going to do it for us. Thanks for listening. Thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.